All right. Well,
I
we've
keep
started
mine on the
streaming.
desktop.
Yeah, Drewby keeps his avatar handy.
Yes, I do.
Okie doke. So Norlin has turned all his shit off, so we can't hear him anymore.
Norland trying to talk is a dumpster fire.
Hello?
We get. Hey, it's normal Norlin.
Hello.
All right. So my computer tried to restart, so I lost my session, so I need to re-register for that website.
Good Lord.
Okay. Well, as soon as everyone's in the Roll20 game, we can kind of get started here.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Sounds like it. I can hear that mouse wheel cracking away.
I'm trying to find a fun avatar so that people like me. And I feel like I have time as long as Norland's still working on it.
You do.
Okay, so I have a game to join. I'm joining a game.
Uh-oh.
Set your name and avatar before you join.
Wait? Do I set my name to me or my character that I'm gonna?
Just set it to
Whatever you
Norlin.
want the stream to see.
Okay.
Chero went this. Oh, this might be it. This is a bunch of shit from my old computer.
I'll just have to be me for today.
Oh! Ruby's rolling dice already. We haven't even started.
Alright, I'll cancel that and come to the game.
Oh, you gotta tell him how to. Okay, so you gotta turn on.
Yeah,
In
just
your
wait
Mac.
for everybody to get in here, and we'll tell everyone how to do it at once.
Okay.
Become a plus or pro
That's
something
nothing.
rather.
Join game.
Would
I
you
found
like
it.
to play through the tutorial?
Uh-oh, if I see your real life name and Norland, maybe if I refresh the page, your names will disappear. Let me try that.
What
No,
the
no, put me-
shit?
I don't know
put me
how to
back in the
change. I
damn
don't know how to
tutorial.
change that.
On the right, it says
Oh,
your
display name.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I hadn't loaded in yet. Just
It's
give me,
fine.
Give me a break.
You seem like you're not in the best mood right now. Are you doing okay?
I'm just a little flustered to come in and it's like, oh, you're behind on everything, so get your shit together.
Yeah, you could have at least given us all this information more than 15 minutes before you were supposed to start.
It was an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, I sent
got
it an
a
hour
text
ago.
like 15 minutes ago.
I was busy putting my kids to bed an hour ago, just so you know.
Oh, well.
I just told him go to fuck bed, and then I came down here and I'm not
I think
even
it's gonna be
drinking.
all right. I forgive
not-
all of you.
You're not
all my best
you're
friends.
not behind. You're online on time. It's just
Okay.
Jeez, you don't need to be flustered, friend.
All right. I'm ready. I think.
Can I be a different color? I don't want to be red. Oh, I can. Look at that.
You guys don't have avatars, but that's totally fine. We got a lot to cover because you've never played this before. So, let me see here. First, I'm going to clear the chat log so we don't see the giant FAQ.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So, why don't we start by just going through? Well, this is World of Darkness, as you can probably tell by looking at the screen, and I'm going to try and describe things with lots and lots of adjectives, so that if people want to listen to this later, they will know what we're talking about.
Nice.
Yeah, the World of Darkness is spooky and scary. It's not Dungeons and Dragons. There are spooky monsters out there, but you don't know any paladins. You're just a bunch of soft, fragile bags of flesh. So unless you're punching another soft, fragile bag of flesh in a bar somewhere, combat can be pretty lethal. If you walk into a monster and start shouting numbers at it and hoping that it will shout smaller numbers back at you, you're more likely to die than anything. So take that to heart.
So throw numbers at the monsters.
Right.
What if I only shout prime numbers?
That's not going to impress anyone unless you're fighting a mathematician. So fighting is risky. Fighting fair is stupid. Fighting unfair is probably the way to go. So in this game, the only thing to think about as far as dice are concerned, and that's part of the reason I chose, I felt we might like to play this system. The only dice to think about are D10s. There's no D20s, there's no D6s or 4s or 8s or 12s. Okay. Before you guys get too enthusiastic rolling dice, Drew, why don't you teach them how to enable their macros and turn on 3D dice?
On the upper right, where you have my settings, and next to that, collection. So first hit collection, and then you'll see there's a couple macros that are built there for chance and roll. Click those so they'll show up, and then click show macro quick bar so they'll show up underneath Mac's portrait.
Okay.
So okay.
And I added those. I added those macros. I hoped they would be immediately available to everyone, but you need to enable them.
Yep. And then go to my settings and enable 3D dice. Automatically roll 3D dice, and then you'll see your dice actually show up when you roll them, and it's way more exciting.
It's pretty scintillating, and it also says your name and it says.
Whoa! Look at him go!
Oh shit, man! 0 successes. That's terrific.
Woohoo!
Okay, so
Why did a fourth one just pop in?
so we'll go over that. We'll go over that. All right. So, okay, you can stop rolling dice now.
I was
Just
told
making sure
that
we're
this
doing
was
it
an important part of the game.
It's going to take us all. Okay, stop. It's going to take us
You just
all
moved
night
along.
to get through the rules at this rate. We won't even get to play
You
the
shouldn't
game.
be surprised by this.
I'm not. So the only dice to think about are D10s. Every roll is some number of D10s based on your stats and skills and attributes and equipment and modifiers. And so you're just going to roll some number of D10s, and every die that comes up with an 8 or higher is a success. So you're just going to roll some number of dice, and then you count the 8s or 9s or 10s, and that's your successes. And this game also has a rule called 10 again, which means if you roll a 10, you get to roll another die. So like if you're rolling 3 dice and one of them comes up a 10, you'll get A, 1 success, and B, to roll a 4th die.
That's why the fourth one came in.
That's why the 4th one came rolling in
Look
like
at
10
that.
minutes later. Yeah. So I mean I'm very clever when it comes to writing macros in Roll20.net.
Oh, here comes another one.
Oh, it happened
Look
again.
at that!
That's
So
so
that's
cool.
2 successes on a
That's
3-die roll.
That was a 3-die roll, and he ended up with 2 successes. Yes, it's possible to roll 3 dice and get 4 successes if you're fucking amazing, you know,
or even 6. I would.
or even 6 or 7 or a million.
What
Because
if-
every
I
time
was
you
What
roll
happens
a
if
10,
you get a 10 on a reroll?
yeah,
You
if you
keep going?
if you just keep rolling 10s, you just keep going, friend.
I want to see it.
That's amazing.
Let's not spend too long trying to get that to happen. But okay, so again, your dice pool for any given roll is constructed by adding up traits and modifiers, and a lot of what's in the book is just suggestions for various types of skill rolls. You can invent your own shit. Like if you tell me I want to mummify my dog, I'm going to say, all right, well, that sounds like you're going to be rolling resolve plus wits plus crafts, and then you say, hey, can I have a +1 die to my dice pool because I've got my own jar of formaldehyde? And I'm going to be like, sure, but you get a -3 modifier because your dog is still alive. And then we determine the size of the dice pool, and then you roll.
So if you kill your dog first, you're better off.
So
Yeah,
what I'm hearing is things are negotiable.
Yes, every roll is potentially a negotiation.
All right.
All right, so let's go over what is on the character sheet. You should have all come into this with a concept for your character, and I'm sure it's not too terribly detailed at this point. Maybe we'll go over those real quick. But after we've revealed your character's names and concepts, we're going to go over the character sheet. And as we do, don't fill everything out yet, but think about what your character is going to look like in terms of attributes and skills and everything else, and then we'll hopefully have an easier time filling everything out when we get to that. So right now I'm looking at Drewby's character sheet. You all have more or less identical character sheets. Drewby has entered his name, age, and concept. He is Sammy Willem. He's 27 years old, and he is an unrepentant moron.
Yep.
All right.
Drew, you're
You're
not
supposed to pick a
make
different
yourself.
character, Drew.
Sure he is.
I I am
Yeah.
confident in who I am, and it will enable me to often say, "What the fuck is happening?" and
Drew,
mean it.
Drew, do you have any sort of an occupation in mind or a trade that your character plies?
I am a professional collector of Social Security checks because of my disability.
Do you have any hobbies? Did you go to school?
I like shooting, and I got the best 5th grade education I could get in the state of Alabama.
All right. And where do you live now?
Still in Alabama.
Okay. Well, you add some of this information
But
to this. There's this big box just says notes. Don't fill out too
yes.
much of the rest of the character sheet, but add some of that information in notes there. And while you do
In
that,
fairness, my home is wherever my camper ends up.
well, where's your camper right now?
I'm not really sure. I'm not good with them book learning.
Okay. All right. So while you fill out your
Been
notes,
practicing his whole life for this.
while you fill out your notes, we're going to move on to Gnorlin. I see his name is Timoth Esperson.
Oh, it's supposed to be Timothy.
Timothy Esperson. He's 31 years old, and his concept is timid IT guy. So effectively, he's playing himself,
Yes.
which is fine, I guess. Norland, where are you living right now these days?
I'm living in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha. And what? How much do you make at your job as a timid IT guy?
About 50,000.
50,000 a month? That's incredible.
No, a minute.
Oh, Jesus, man. I would stop working after one day.
Wait, 50,000 what?
Yen.
50,000 eggshells, empty eggshells.
Well,
per
I'm
minute.
the IT guy at a regional chain of grocery stores, so it's not very high level.
That's fine. That's fine. So, if you've got any hobbies, maybe call those out. Anything you like to do in your spare time other than play video games or anything?
Not really.
All right. Well,
How does-
anything you think is germane, just add it to this notes box. And Drew has a question.
How do you wrap text in this?
Oh, I think if you,
Well, first you need a beat, and then it has to run.
yeah, right.
Yes, that's
Now you can go to format, text wrapping.
Oh, there's
wrap.
formatting.
Yeah, I don't know if it applies to the whole document or just that cell or what, but
It worked. So the end.
okay. All right. So here we are looking at Shale's character sheet. His name is Dewey Duller. He's 32 years old. He is a true believer but can't prove it. Do you have, okay, I see you've also added that you are a hobby farmer. Does that mean subsistence farming?
No, I just own a small, hobby farm with a couple of goats and some chickens for fun.
All right, but you still go to the grocery store like some kind of loser.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you used to own a chicken ranch.
Yes.
Any other hobbies we should be aware of? Any skills? Any schooling?
I am pretty good with a crossbow.
Interesting.
and,
So you're
That's
Daryl.
convenient.
Yes. I went to school for business and thus owned the chicken farm and sold it, and now I'm just a hobby farmer.
You sold the
and-
chicken farm. Did you use it?
Yes.
Did you use the proceeds to buy a truck?
Yes, I did. A very nice truck
All right.
that I keep my crossbow in.
All right. So here we are looking at Liuv. His name is Albacore Masterson. He is 36 years old.
He's a tuna.
He's a tuna. His concept is skeptical observationist. He is living in Madison, Wisconsin, working as a librarian's assistant. He likes skydiving and proving people wrong. He hates the dark almost as much as he hates people.
All right.
Okay. I won't. There is a fifth member of your little group, but before we get into that, actually, before we get into anything, let's just go down the character sheet and talk about what's on it. So at the top here, attributes, pretty text that says attributes. They're grouped into three categories or columns here. There's mental, physical, and social. And you will be prioritizing these categories as primary, secondary, and tertiary based on your character concept. And you will get a number of points to allocate in each of these categories based on the priority you choose. So like if you just click at the top of the, like right under where it says attributes, there's a drop down menu in each of the three columns. So
Yeah.
if it's primary, you'll get 5 points to spend. Secondary, you'll get 4 points. Tertiary, 3 points. And then as you click on each of the attributes themselves, you'll see a number of dots. So all of these, everything's a dot rating. You start with 1 dot in every attribute, which represents basic human ineptitude. 2 dots makes you more or less average. 3 dots is like the level of regular exercise. 4 dots is a genius or an Olympic athlete, and 5 dots is like peak human ability. So attributes are also grouped into 3 classes or rows. And this is less important, but on the left over to the left of the attributes, you can see power, finesse, and resistance. Power is more or less how you affect the world with force. Finesse is how you interact with the world on an equal level, and resistance is how you counter the world's attempts to affect you. So you've got an attribute of each class in each of the categories. And again, you start with 1 dot in every attribute, and you will be assigning additional dots based on the category priorities. And we're going to assign these dots in a minute when we get to character creation. If you take a 5th dot, it costs 2 dots to acquire. Really, the only way to make that happen is if you chose something as your primary category and then spent all 5 points, all 5 dots on like intelligence, because dots 2, 3, and 4 cost 1 point each, and then dot 5 costs 2, so that's all 5 of your points, and your wits and resolve are going to be stuck at 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So you're really selling out if you want to get all the way up to 5 dots right away at character creation. Okay, so
you can increase those later on, is what I'm understanding.
Yep. So
Possibly.
later on, you will get experience points, and you can use it. What we're doing right now at character creation, I think it's called background. You're getting background points that you're going to be spending to establish your initial traits. But later on, you can also spend experience points to raise attributes or skills, or buy new merits, or there's all kinds of stuff you can do with experience points. But that's for later. So yeah, but you're right. What you choose now is not static and final and eternal. If we scroll down a little further, we get to the skills. It's very similar. They are grouped into 3 categories: mental, physical, and social. And at the top of each category, you will see primary, secondary, tertiary, and a different number of points you'll get to spend. You don't start with any dots in these skills, because you don't necessarily have all these skills. If you take 1 dot, that makes you more or less a novice or hobbyist. 2 dots makes you an employable practitioner. 3 dots makes you a professional. 4 dots makes you an expert. And 5 dots means you are like a master or a foremost expert in the field. And once again, the 5th dot costs 2. And in most of these skills, you can have a specialty. Like, you might be just generally good at academics, but maybe your specialty is European history or chemistry. You might, or that would be a good one for science too. You might just be generally good at science, but your specialty is chemistry or astronomy, or and the idea there is you're going to get, if you take 2 dots in science, any roll that involves science, you're going to get 2 dice. And then furthermore, if it's a roll that involves astronomy, you're going to get an extra die because that's your specialty.
Okay.
So when you mark down your skills, I would suggest, like, if you want a history specialty in academics, a specialization, right click on the academics cell and say like add note or insert comment. You can do one of those and just add something that says what the specialty is. When you choose your skill dots, you're going to be choosing 3 specialties, and you can put them all on the same skill, or you can spread them out. So like you might say athletics, and my specialties are punching people, kicking people, and headbutting people, and crossbowing people. Those are your 3 specialties. You've put them all in athletics, and that's perfectly valid.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Looking at the skills, there's firearms and weaponry. Is weaponry considered more hand weaponry?
Yes. So weaponry is a general skill that you can just pick up a lead pipe or a broomstick and be okay with it if you've got dots in weaponry. Whereas firearms
melee
is
weapons.
right.
Okay.
Firearms is firearms used for ranged combat, and weaponry is melee.
Okay.
Crafts. Anything else anyone has questions about? Like crafts is generally working with your hands. With maybe a specialty like motorcycle repair. We can go through these later if you have questions.
Yep.
And most dice rolls in this game are going to consist of an attribute plus a skill plus modifiers like equipment. So to shoot a gun, you would roll your dexterity attribute plus your firearms skill plus an extra die or two if you're using a weapon that is pretty nice. Once in a while, you'll contribute. You'll combine two attributes in a single roll, but skills are almost always just one for a roll. Okay, so scroll a little farther, well, all the way down actually to the bottom middle where it says size, speed, initiative, defense, armor. These are called advantages. I'm not sure why, but they're called advantages. Your size is 5 because you are probably an adult human. If you want to be 7 feet tall and 450 pounds, there's a merit called a giant, and you should probably just take that merit, and then your size is 6. But otherwise, 5. Your speed is going to be your strength plus your dexterity plus a modifier, which is also 5 for adult human. A toddler, if you're a toddler, your speed modifier is 3. If you're a turtle, it's 1. If you're a cheetah, it's 15. But for adult humans, it's 5.
I am an adult human-sized cheetah.
Oh, then it's 15.
Okay. Is this going to fill itself in as
No.
we take our attributes?
There's no fancy formulas in here. You're just going to want to do it yourself. You're going to have to, I guess, would be the way to phrase that. And your defense is the lower of your wits and dexterity, which are both attributes. Your wits is basically, your ability to decide on a course of action under duress. Just instantly know what to do. Where to move, respond in the proper fashion to anything. And your dexterity is your God-given ability to jump out of the way of a bullet. Or operate a firearm, So one or the other of these is going to be lower, and you need some wits and some dexterity to be able to dodge and weave in combat. So basically your defense is the lower of the wits and dexterity. Armor, don't worry about it for now. It's going to be like, you're wearing a Kevlar vest or something. And experience is... experience. At the end of every session, you'll get some experience points, and we'll go over how to spend those later. Okay, so merits. Over on the bottom left, I have sent you a link to a spreadsheet of merits. I have also sent you a link to a spreadsheet of skills. Let's start with the skills. Yeah. So the skills, I went into a little bit of detail, very, very little. I just want to tell you how to... Yeah, I want to tell you how to look at this spreadsheet. So open up the skills spreadsheet. The left column obviously is the skill. It corresponds directly to the one on the character sheet. The bluish column is an example skill task from the book. They didn't cover everything. I mean, it's, again, you just invent. If you decide you want to do something, you say, well, I think that sounds like this and this and this, and then we negotiate. But these are some examples that they give in the book. You'll see, like, there's a bunch of them for athletics: climbing, foot chase, jumping, throwing. And then there's, like, none for firearms, because I guess it's sort of self-explanatory what a firearm skill task might involve.
Guns go shooty bang.
Yes, exactly. And then there's a few columns that describe the dice pools for the skill task examples, and then the role type. We'll get into types of rolls. Well, no, let's just describe it now. So there's instant rolls, which is like you shooting a gun, or you typing in the password on a computer keyboard. And then there's extended rolls, which so an instant roll is one roll. It's like a 3-second thing. An extended roll is something that takes place over time. You're going to need to roll multiple times, and based on the task, it might be 30 seconds, it might be 15 minutes, it might be a day, and you're going to need to roll multiple times, and you're going to be accumulating successes over the course of those rolls. So, like, if you're repairing the engine in your car, you know, it might be an hour per roll, and you might need 10 successes. And we're going to add up your crafts and your wits and your, you know, we'll decide what the roll is, and you'll roll it. And every time you roll, an hour passes, and we add up the successes, and eventually you succeed. And we find out how long it took you. Contested means it means, you know, like, well,
Something's going to roll against you.
yeah, it means I'm rolling against you. It means you're not just accumulating successes, we're also subtracting my successes from your successes because I am contesting you. Okay, that's enough for skills. Let's look at the merits spreadsheet, because now we're talking about merits, and probably the fastest way to do this is to just run down the list of merits. And this is how you customize your character. It's like your build. So we're just going to go down the list and maybe take some notes about which ones you think fit your character. Pay attention to the prerequisites and craft your character's other attributes accordingly. So in the category of mental merits, you can see there's like 8 of them here. There's common sense. Oh, there's a red check mark under the CC column that stands for character creation. So if there's a check mark in that column, it means that merit is only available when you're creating your character. Like,
Oh my.
common sense, you can't develop common sense later in life. You either have common sense or you don't. And it's an expensive one. It's 4 dots. But common sense, 4 dots.
Four dots meaning what? That you have 4 dots in any one of your mental
So what
attributes?
this means is, I mean, merits are measured. Let's look at the character sheet again. Merits are measured in dots, just like attributes and skills. And you're gonna be spending, like, I mean, normally you spend 7 dots on merits when you're creating a character. So if you really want to sell out and take common sense, that's 4 dots out of your 7 dot budget. So
in the merits, I see. There's
Yeah.
a merits section. Okay.
Yep, on the character sheet. So you would type in common sense in the yellow box, and you would go down to 4 dots on the cost, and that is 4 of your 7 dots for merits at character creation.
You only have 7. Okay. All right. I got you.
We might bump that up a little just to make things fun. We might say 10 or something, but yeah, you have a budget. Later on, you can purchase merits with experience points later. So you know this isn't final, but
I had missed the bit that we had this merits section. I wasn't sure what the dots indicated.
yep,
Okay. No,
the dots are the cost. So common sense costs 4 dots. There is no prerequisite. It's only available at character creation. And what it means is I can make a wits plus composure roll once per chapter to save you from some disastrous course of action. Like if you guys are doing something really stupid, I can, if you have common sense, I can go ahead and just roll on your behalf and be like, yeah, you decide that's a bad idea.
Okay, somebody needs to take that.
I think Drew should take it because
Yeah.
it's ironic.
Okay, so danger sense costs 2 dots, and it means that you gain a +2 modifier whenever you are rolling a wits plus composure to detect an ambush, which is something that might come up once in a while. If I say, hey, Liuv, roll wits plus composure, that means I think you are in a position to notice you're about to be ambushed. And if you've got danger sense, then you get a +2 modifier on that roll.
So is +2 2 more dice?
Yep, 2 more dice.
Okay.
It means if you roll your wits plus composure, and that's only 2 dice because you never put any points in them, but you've got danger sense, then you add 2. You roll 4 dice.
Oh.
All right, eidetic memory, 2 dots. It means you normally when you're trying to remember something, you have to roll your intelligence and wits to remember it. Eidetic memory means you don't need to do that. You remember everything. Encyclopedic knowledge only available at character creation, 4 dots. You can, under any circumstances, basically everything. You've been accumulating useless knowledge your whole life. So you can make an intelligence plus wits roll and remember some relevant factoid in any situation.
That sounds like albacore.
You watch a lot of Jeopardy, basically, is what encyclopedic knowledge means. Holistic awareness, 3 dots. Once per day, you can... Oh, we should go over wounds real quick, otherwise this won't make any sense to you. So, back to the character sheet. Look at the section toward the bottom marked health.
3?
Yeah, that's just sort of a default value I put in there, but
Oh, okay.
you're gonna...
stamina plus size.
Yeah, you're going to be determining your health later. There are damage. There's 3 types of damage: bashing, lethal, and aggravated. Bashing comes from things like getting punched in the face, or getting hit with a club, or getting hit by a car. Lethal is more like getting stabbed or shot.
Getting hit by a car, I would think, would be more lethal than
Well,
bashing.
it depends on the speed of the car. I guess I was thinking like, it bumped you, as opposed to it obliterated your legs. That would be more lethal. And aggravated is like, that's special. That's like supernatural damage. That's like getting bit by a werewolf or a vampire, or getting shot by a lightning bolt from a witch's ass. Aggravated damage is a little rare. But it's serious. So the way damage works is you've got a set number of health boxes, which is determined by, the formulas down below. It's stamina plus size. And when you take damage, you double click on one of these boxes and you'll see there's a check mark and an X and a star. So if you take a point of damage, you double click and choose the appropriate type of damage. And when all of your health boxes are filled with wounds of various types, you will need to make stamina rolls to remain conscious. And if you take more damage beyond that, conscious or not, bashing wounds, check marks, get upgraded to lethal wounds, X's. If all of your boxes are filled with lethal wounds, you are comatose and dying. While you're dying, every minute that passes without you getting any medical attention upgrades a lethal wound to aggravated. And if all your boxes are full of aggravated damage, basically, fuck you, you're dead. I'm sorry to say. So that's how wounds and damage work. So back over to the merits. Holistic awareness, I guess I didn't cover the relevant portion, which is that bashing wounds heal at a rate of 1 every 15 minutes. They're pretty minor. Lethal wounds heal 1 every 2 days, and aggravated wounds take a week to heal. And holistic awareness means once per day you can make a roll to have a patient's healing times. So they'll heal everything twice as fast. So let's get through the rest of these merits. Language, 1 dot to 3 dots. So what you would do is you would take the language, if you wanted to speak, say, for example, three languages, you would take the language merit 3 times. And you'd say language, and then in parentheses or with a note on the spreadsheet, you would say Spanish. And then you'd say language, ancient Atlantean.
Demonic.
And then you'd say language demonic. And those are the 3 languages you know. The dot rating in each of those language merits, it indicates how good you are at speaking the language. 1 dot means read, write with minimal fluency. 2 dots means you are pretty literate and conversationally fluent. 3 dots means you speak like a native. Meditative.
Can I ask a specific question about the interaction of encyclopedic knowledge and eidetic memory?
Sure.
If you take both, do you just always know everything?
You can always pull up some factoid. I think what I would probably say is so the fun part of encyclopedic knowledge is you roll intelligence and wits, and there is a relevant factoid, and based on the number of successes you get with intelligence and wits, you will it might potentially be false. It might potentially be unrelated. Or it might be perfect. It might be exactly what you needed in that situation.
I see.
So if you took eidetic memory and encyclopedic knowledge, I'm probably wrong about what role you need to make to remember things. First of all, eidetic memory and encyclopedic knowledge. What does that mean? It's a good question. We'll answer that later.
All right.
I would not suggest taking both merits because I will nerf you pretty hard.
Oh, all right.
In some way, I will figure out a way to nerf you. I'll define a role to remember things differently, such that, you know what? I'm just going to look that up because I'm probably wrong. What does it mean when I'm trying to remember something? What do I roll?
I mean, it uses the word recall, rather than remember for encyclopedic knowledge.
I
I'm
wrote.
guessing it's different. But
I wrote most of these myself, so it's intended to be like a 2 sentence or less description of everything. Let me look. Remember, memory. No, not there. We'll figure it out later. So I think normally when you want, let's say you wanted to remember something you were told in the distant past about, Sumerian culture, what we would probably do is we'd look at your character sheet and say, okay, well, why don't you roll intelligence plus wits plus academics, or if you were trying to remember something about repairing a semi truck, I would ask you to roll intelligence plus wits plus crafts, or there would be a particular skill involved. So that's
okay. That makes sense. I got it.
And encyclopedic knowledge gives you just a shot in the dark. You can roll intelligence and wits with no relevant skill, and you might come up with a relevant factoid. Okay.
So, I have an interesting question. With how this whole thing works, basically a lot of this is up to your whim. Are you going to basically need to stay in the same mental state every time we do this?
I will sure try.
At least attempt. I mean, I don't know. I'm just,
What we're doing, Shale, is collaboratively telling a story.
Right.
He's asking if you're going to drink.
Well, and I don't. Whatever. You should probably do that at about the same level every week.
Yes.
I will.
He's
I
not
will
saying you shouldn't drink.
I will endeavor.
But sake would be a more interesting time.
I will endeavor to drink the exact same amount every night we do this.
So measure it out. Zilla.
Yeah. Let's get the wife to measure all the wine I'm drinking right now.
Right.
Okay. So we've covered language. Meditative mind, 1 dot. Basically, anytime you want to concentrate on something, you're going to need to roll wits plus composure. And a meditative mind means that you can do that effortlessly. So like if you're being shot at and you're trying to concentrate on something, I'm going to say roll wits plus composure -5 because a bullet just hit you in the leg. And you're going to be like, darn, I don't have any dice left. Meditative mind means go ahead and roll anyway. Unseen sense, 3 dots. The prerequisites are you need to be mortal, and you're all mortal, and you need to have a wits rating of at least 2 dots.
Can we become immortal?
Immortal means, becoming a vampire, or becoming a mage, or becoming a werewolf.
That's fun.
You might become immortal at some point, and if you do, this merit will be null and void.
Okay.
But it might provide you some advantage. Like, if you have unseen sense as a mortal, and then you become a vampire, I'm probably not just going to say, aha, fuck you, your 3 merit points are gone now. I'll give you some sort of advantage for that.
Okay.
Ambidextrous. We're into the physical merits. Hooray! Ambidextrous costs 3 dots. Normally, if you are using your offhand, either with a second crossbow, or to jerk off your partner, you're going to be subject to a -2 penalty because you're no good with your offhand. Ambidextrous means you don't suffer that penalty, and it is available at character creation only.
Real quick, the stream is saying we're playing DC Docker, and if somebody's walking in, they maybe have no fucking clue what the hell is happening.
Okay, let me change that. I'll change it to Oblivious Streaming, Learning to Play World of Darkness.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, Brawling Dodge. In combat, this costs 1 dot, and you need some prerequisites. In combat, when you want to dodge, like with your turn, you're just like, I need to dodge. Whoa! You can double your defense. Whatever your defense rating is, normally that would subtract a number of dice from the attacker's dice pool. And you can double your defense by just spending an action to dodge that turn. Brawling Dodge means you can add your brawl dots to your defense instead of doubling defense. So like if you take 4 dots in brawl and your defense is only 2 dots, Brawling Dodge makes a lot of sense. Direction sense, 1 dot. You can always remain oriented without references. It sounds unexciting, but I'm sure it'll come in at some point if you take it. Disarm means that when you are making an attack, you compare your successes to an opponent's dexterity, and if you get enough successes to be greater than or equal to their dexterity, you can choose to disarm them. Also handy. These are all handy. Fast reflexes. You can take it at a level of 1 dots or 2 dots, and you gain 1 initiative per dot, which changes where you land in the combat order. Fighting finesse. When you attack someone with a club or your fist or a shoe, normally you would roll strength plus something else, brawl or weaponry or whatever. If you have very high dexterity and you would rather use your dexterity in those rolls, you can take fighting finesse. I'm not going to go through these fighting styles in a great amount of detail, but look at them if you think they fit your character. There's boxing, kung fu, and 2 weapons, and you can take them at various levels, 1 dots, 2 dots, 3 dots, and they provide different benefits based on the dot rating. But we're going to scroll straight down for now and go to Fleet of Foot. 1 to 3 dots, you gain +1 speed per dot, and your speed rating is how many yards you can move per combat round, I think. I can look that up, but basically it's how fast you are when you're moving around during combat or running away from someone or chasing someone down. Fresh start means that once we establish an initiative order, you can say, nope, fuck you, and put yourself at the top of the initiative order. Giant is only available at character creation, and it makes you fucking giant, and you're bigger, and you have +1 size, and therefore you have +1 health, because health is stamina plus size. Gunslinger. You can accurately fire 2 pistols at the same time. You get a -1 penalty on the second attack, plus if you're not ambidextrous, you get the same old -2 penalty for using your offhand. It says pistols only, but frankly, I say we let Shale use it for crossbows if he wants to become Mr. Crossbowman. But of course, it's pretty hard to reload 2 crossbows at the same time, so you probably don't want to
dual wheel crossbow.
Yeah, you probably don't actually want to do that.
I probably won't. No.
Or unless you want to become Mr. Gunman, in addition to being Mr. Crossbowman.
I feel like quick draw would be better.
We'll get to that in a second. Iron Stamina, you can take it at a level of 1 to 3, and it lets you ignore negative modifiers when you are resisting fatigue. Like if you've been fighting for 8 hours or running for 8 hours or just awake for 48 hours, and I start telling you, hey, you're falling asleep here, you need to make a roll. And you have Iron Stamina, you can say, nope, fuck you, I have I'm doing okay. Iron Stomach, what does this say? You gain +2 modifier to survival rolls involved. So if you're starving to death, you are going to need to start making survival rolls at some point because you're starving to death. This gives you a +2 modifier, i.e. an extra 2 dice. And if you're starving to death, we can read about deprivation later. I don't think I've even read it recently. I don't know what it does. But +3 stamina to resist deprivation. Hey.
You have to eat? Oh, Jesus.
Well, I take it for granted that if you aren't being actively deprived by your circumstances, then you're eating, when appropriate. I'm not going to say, hey, is anyone eating right now? Nope. Okay, well, you're all starving to death. Never mind the fact that there's a McDonald's next door. Apparently none of you thought to go buy anything. No, we're not going to do that. Natural immunity, +2 modifier on stamina rolls to resist infection, sickness, and disease. That might come up at some point. Quick draw, yes. Okay, you can draw a pistol and fire, or if you take quick draw with a melee focus, you can pull a melee weapon and attack as a single action without any penalty. So, you can't take quick draw and have it apply to both firearms and clubs, but you can take quick draw for ranged weapons or for melee weapons. And normally you would have to, draw a weapon and then later attack. This lets you do those both at the same time. Quick healer. So way up above we described holistic awareness, which lets you halve someone else's healing times. This means you have that all the time on you. But it's expensive. Costs 4 dots.
Damn.
Strong
and
back.
You have to have 4 stamina already.
And you need to be a staminous bastard, yeah. Strong back. Anytime you need to lift or carry anything, you get a +1. You get +1 die because you're just fucking strong. Strong lungs means if you're holding your breath, either because you are underwater or because someone just farted, you get a +2 modifier to your stamina roll, and therefore can hold your breath longer. Stunt driver. Normally when you're driving, your attention is, your hands are at 10 and 2, and you are having to pay attention to what you're doing. If you're a stunt driver, you can shoot a gun while you're driving. You can punch a passenger while you're driving. Toxin resistance, +2 modifier on stamina rolls to resist drugs and poisons and toxins, also might come into play at some point. Weaponry dodge, there was something up above called brawling dodge, which meant that when you perform a dodge, instead of doubling your defense, you would add your brawl dots. Well, this is the same thing, except if you have taken a bunch of dots in weaponry, and you want to be able to dodge using your weaponry rather than your defense. Okay, finally, the social roles, social merits. These get a little bit complicated at times. Allies means you can take it at 1 to 5 dots. If you have a particular allegiance, like you are a former police officer, or you have a whole bunch of friends in the Dungeons and Dragons community, or you're a bum and you know all the bums, whatever, you probably have some allies, and that's probably where they come from. And you can make some rolls occasionally and ask them for help. If you have a 1 dot, it means you might know a few bums. If you have 5 dots, it means you are the king of bums. Barfly. You have an easy time finding your way into any restaurant, nightclub, bar, etc. You just magically manage to bypass the rope and get in the door, and before you know it, the stripper's butt is in your face.
I'll take that. Don't worry about it.
I figured Drew would want that. Contacts is similar to allies. You can take it anywhere from 1 to 5 dots, and it has similar implications, except that with allies, you can more or less ask them to do something for you. With contacts, you are requesting information. It's an easier roll. What are the differences here? Oh, okay. So the main difference is it's not all that similar to allies. Like allies, you would need, if you were really in well with police and also in with the Yakuza, you would need to take allies police and allies Yakuza, and you would have a dot rating with each faction, and that would tell you how influential you are in each faction. Contacts, you get a faction per dot. Like it's less impressive. Like you can't request aid from contacts. You're just getting information, but 1 dot means, one faction. If you have 2 dots in contacts, it means, well, I know the police and I also know the Yakuza. 3 dots means I also know the Dungeons and Dragons nerds in town. So with a single merit, you can have many places to get information from. Fame. You can take it at 1 or 3 or 2, 1 to 3. You get a +1 modifier to any persuasion or socialize roll that you make in the community. Like basically, if you're a famous Dungeons and Dragons player, and you're hanging out with D&D players, you can, and you're trying to schmooze with them, you get a +1 modifier. Inspiring, if you have a lot of presence, i.e. like charisma, if we were playing paladins in the D&D universe, you can take this merit, and we haven't covered willpower yet, but this is enormously powerful. Once per session, you can make a presence and persuasion roll, and if you succeed, everyone helping you right now within earshot gets a willpower point back. And we'll get into willpower in a minute. I just want you to note that's pretty good. Mentor. You have a mentor.
Somebody take that.
Yeah.
I won't be doing that.
Because it doesn't work on you. So mentor means you have a mentor. It means you have a teacher or someone more skilled than you in some arena, and they help you out. And 1 to 5 dots, the dot rating indicates how good they are. Resources is effectively your income, your disposable income. 1 dot in resources means you have a little bit of disposable income every month. 5 dots means you are a rich bastard. Some dot rating in resources is probably a good idea for most or all of you, whether it's 1 or 5 or 3 or whatever. Retainer means you have a servant, more or less, and you can read the details on the right. The dot rating tells you how good your servant is, or assistant or employee, or however you want to term it. Maybe you have a golem, Status. is sort of like fame. If you have status with the police, you have a lot of influence, and you can ask for favors. Striking looks means you're a handsome bastard, and you can seduce or persuade anyone of anything at any time. Or at least it means you get extra dice when you attempt to do so. Okay, that took a lot longer than I was expecting. I apologize. But that was more or less a rundown of the merits. There's 41 of them, which is, I guess, why it took so long. Hopefully you got some idea of what you want to do with your character.
Yeah.
What else do we need to cover before we just go ahead and fill out the character sheets? We're going to say 10 dots on merits rather than 7. Where it's applicable, like if you're buying a merit that goes all the way up to 5, the 5th dot costs 2, just like with attributes and skills. Does anybody have any questions? Have you all begun the process of filling out your character sheet, or do you have some idea where you're going?
All right.
Yes.
So, remind me. Okay. Going back to attributes. How many points do we get to assign in each of these the attribute skills?
So right
There's a
under
drop down at the top of the thing.
Yeah, under where it says attributes, there's a drop down. You can assign a priority to each category, and that tells you how many dots you get to spend.
Ah.
So is the first dot free, or is that still 1?
In attributes, the
said-
first dot is free.
Okay,
So
so
it's
it's
a-
really so my
5
primary attribute I can have a total of 7 dots, assuming I didn't go for 5 on on one of them.
In the primary, you start with 3, and primary gives you an extra 5 to spend, so you would have a total of 8.
Oh, so you get 3 more. So, like for tertiary, you get 3 more. So you start
Yes.
with 3, so you get 6. Okay.
Okay. And we have to do that for attributes and skills, and then we spend 10 on merits.
Yep. And then we'll
Okay.
figure out your health and willpower. Oh, while we're talking about willpower, willpower works a lot like health in that you have an amount of willpower determined by some formula. It's resolve plus composure. So you have that many available, and you can spend 1 willpower to do one of 2 things. Either you gain 3 dice on your next roll, so it's a humongous advantage, or you gain 2 to some defensive stat in order to resist something during, like if someone's attacking you or someone's casting a vampire spell on you or whatever. The only ways to regain willpower, and this is why I told you to remember that super sweet merit, if you get a full night of rest, you get 1 point of willpower back. If you achieve some significant goal, you get 1 point back. I can reward you at my discretion. If I think you're doing a good job of role-playing something, I can just give you a point. And then when we complete a story, not a session, but a whole story arc, you get all your points of willpower back. So willpower is kind of hard to get back. It's really worthwhile to spend, but a pain in the ass to get back. Drewby's flying.
Yeah.
So is Norland. Norland's flying.
Can you cover the drive skill?
Sure. Let me pull up the drive skill. So I also shared with you a PDF, which is the entire goddamn...
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep, I sent you a link to a PDF, which is the whole core rulebook. So you can look up anything you want to, but let me just pull it up here. I've got the book in front of me. What is drive? Is it? No, it's not a merit. It's a skill.
It is a skill.
It's probably a physical skill.
Yes, it is a physical skill.
Drive. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so drive is typically possessed by car thieves, couriers, delivery drivers, emergency responders, police officers, race car drivers. You can have a specialty in high-performance cars or motorcycles or off-road or pursuit or shaking tails or stunts or anything else you can come up with. When you roll something like wits plus dexterity plus drive, because you're in the middle of a car chase, any success means you complete your intended maneuver. An exceptional success, which means 5 successes or more, not only do you complete your intended maneuver, but you gain more ground than you expected. Maybe you swerve around a sharp corner, drop perfectly into a sudden gap in traffic. Maybe you shoot down the road. We will describe it entertainingly when it happens. But five successes is real good. If you fail, it means you don't complete it. Dramatic failure only comes up. Okay, so if we're establishing a dice pool for any roll, this applies to every roll we make. If we establish a dice pool and you roll all your dice, or if we establish a dice pool and then I say, okay, well, you're trying to shoot this guy in the eye from 100 yards away. First of all, that's really tough. Aimed shots are tough, so you're going to get -3 dice for that. And it's raining, so you're going to get -2 dice. And you're really far away, so you're going to get -2 dice. If I whittle your dice pool all the way down to 0, and you still want to take a crack at it, you can roll what's called a chance die. Chance dice.
There's a macro for that.
Yep, there's a macro called chance. It only succeeds on a 10. You don't succeed on 8 or 9. It only succeeds on a 10. And furthermore, if you roll a 1, normally it doesn't matter. But if you roll a 1 on a chance die, that is a dramatic failure. So if you are reduced, if you are reduced all the way to 0 dice, and you're like, "Fuck it, I want to try anyway," and then you roll your 1 chance die and you get a 1, I get to have some fun.
You tried to shoot it in the eye and you shot yourself in the eye.
And you accidentally shot Shale in the face, and now he's dead. Yeah.
Son of a.
Okay, how many merits do we get?
10 points.
10 points.
10 points. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
What's the occult thing in skills?
Occult. We'll just look it up. It's So let's talk about your group too while we're talking about stuff here. Let me look up occult real quick. Occult. Occult is going to come in handy for you guys. I would suggest you all take at least a dot in occult, just based on your interests. Occult it reflects your knowledge and experience with the world's various legends and lore about the supernatural.
I took one for that. Yeah. Yay.
A character with the occult skill not only knows the theories, myths, and legends of the occult, but can generally discern fact from rumor. Characters may come by... fact is in quotes. Characters may come by this skill in a variety of ways, from oddball college courses to learning legends and myths from the lips of superstitious family members. So let's talk real quick about your group. Because I think occult is good for more or less all of you. At least 1 dot.
I took a dot in it.
So the group, your group consists of a bunch of mystery and treasure hunters, or supernatural investigators, or giant nerds, or ghost enthusiasts.
Ghost enthusiasts.
You are the sorts of people who feel drawn to adventure, spending your time looking for supernatural bullshit and researching the occult. So I think it's a great idea for you to all take a couple of dots in occult, or 1 or 3 or whatever. Just fits the character concept, you know?
Yeah.
What is animal ken?
Animal ken is basically just knowing, being a horse whisperer, or, knowing how to handle animals. Let me look it up for you, though.
Is anybody else taking common sense? I'm planning on taking common sense.
Is animal ken?
I got no time for that.
Animal ken. Anticipating and understanding human emotions is one thing, but being able to interpret and recognize the behavior of animals is something else entirely. Your character intuitively grasps or has been trained to read animals, to know how they react to situations. Blah, 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 blah. It's typically possessed by animal rescue workers, hunters, longtime pet owners, park rangers. And when I say something is typically possessed by a bunch of occupations, that doesn't mean you can't have it. It just means, it gives you an indication of the sorts of people who usually have it naturally.
Okay.
Strength. Okay, so now we have to fill out the bottom half if we've made all our decisions.
So if you've chosen all your attributes and skills and merits, then you should have all the numbers you need to fill out the advantages at the bottom, and then the health and willpower. Did you mean to change the background of the common sense merit?
I did not. I don't know how that happened.
Weird. Oh.
I don't have instructions on how to make armor be a number.
There's conditional formatting on there for some reason.
Or experience.
You don't know. Sorry, what?
Armor and experience.
Yeah, ignore armor and experience. Armor
Okay.
armor is something. If you tell me, hey, my character has, well, we'll get to that in a second. But what
I've decided to wear a bucket.
Yeah, I've decided that my character wears a bucket at all times. I'll say, all right, first of all, you're an idiot, and you're going to take -2 to stealth rolls, but you get
Because
one
of
armor.
the
Hooray!
clanking.
Yeah.
So unseen sense is just like where if around I think I feel like I can just tell there's something happening, but you don't know what. Basically, is that
No,
what that means?
it means you've got sort of it's specifically supernatural.
Okay.
Like you have a sense for something supernatural happening.
Spider sense?
No, spider sense is danger sense.
Oh, okay.
Unseen sense. Your character has a sixth sense when it comes to the supernatural. Perhaps his
I feel
hair
like
stands
there's
on
a
end.
Secret trigger here.
Goosebumps race along his arms, or a shiver runs up his spine. Regardless of the manner, his body reacts to the presence of unseen forces. He can't see or hear anything, and in fact, he might not know at first what causes this reaction. It might be a response to a fucking vampire, or it might be a general sense that something isn't right.
Somebody stepped on a crack.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I took contacts and I put 2 in it.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I put who those contacts are?
Right-click and add a note.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah, do I need to add notes about something?
So I would. You do need to change. You need to select 3 specialties. All of you do in your skills. So, like I see, you've taken academics, investigation, occult. Yeah, like if you want to say you know a lot about a particular thing, then right-click on academics and add a note and say my specialty here is portraits of butt fucking from the 19th century. So something if it's real specific, you run the risk of it never coming into play. But I'll do my best.
And as a comment or as a note? Apparently, they're
Comment
two
or note,
things.
either way, I don't care. It's something that doesn't interfere with the rest of the character sheet. Either way you do it. I'm going to fix something on these character sheets. This is bugging me. I need these to be top aligned.
So for academics, can I just put history? Feels like it would cover a lot.
Maybe pick a at least a continent or like an occupation, like you have like a war. History in general is pretty vague. Let's see how bored YouTube is.
They're not talking a lot.
And you know what? Fuck them. Make sure Drewby does not have the common sense merit. Yeah, we heard you.
Don't worry, I'm not taking it.
Smoothie Cold says, I'm good. All right, cool. Hey, come on, YouTube, talk. I know this is boring. Hellborn says, I've never been so excited. You know what? I'm right there with you, friend. So academic World War II would be reasonable. Yes, absolutely. You could have that specialty. Drew, if anyone is saying their shit is done, just let me know and I'll take a look and make sure you've done something sensible. Is anyone's shit done?
No,
Not yet.
I need to write specialties next to 3 of these. You said.
Yeah, Norland, you've selected too many specialties. You get 3.
Wait, where?
In your skills here, you've added a whole bunch of specialties.
Oh, okay.
Just 3.
Just
So you can only put points in 3 things.
No, you select the appropriate number of dots in each category of skill, and then on top of that, you select 3 specialties, which means for a given skill in which you have selected dots, you right-click and add a note and say, it's not just crafts, it's actually motorcycle repair. And from now on, you're going to get an extra die or 2 every time you roll to repair a motorcycle.
So that's insert note.
Yep.
Yarp.
So how many notes do we get on our secondary and tertiary skills? Any?
You get 3 specialties total.
Oh, total. Okay.
Okay, now I gotta think about that.
I need ideas for investigation specialties.
Let me look. It's a good question. Investigation. Specialties. Artifacts, body language, crime scenes, cryptography, dreams, autopsy diagnoses, puzzles, riddles, scientific experiments. Those are the sample specialties they give.
Where are you looking that up?
All right.
I'm looking in the full rule book. You have a PDF you can look at. It's on page 59, this specific skill, but the skills in general start on page 55, 54, somewhere around there, if you want to look them up. But otherwise, I'm looking stuff up for you on demand. Merc Kilsec says, I have only a passing understanding of the world of darkness. Well, we're here for you. Hobobeard says, is this new WAD or old WAD? This is new WAD.
So much wine.
Found more merits for Strider? What is Strider?
Oh, what have I done? There we go.
All right, I think I'm done.
Let's look at Norlin. 5
I need
points. 1, 2, 3,
specialties
4,
for
5.
all my skills?
Nope, you get 3 specialties total.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm okay with mine. I think I'm done.
Okay. So we're looking at Norlin. He has mental attributes as his primary. He's got 5 points assigned. Physical, 4 points. You're missing a point. You get another point.
Oh.
And you get another point in social, too. Skills, 11, 7, and 4. Primary, secondary, tertiary. He's just going left to right. I like it. He's a brainiac and awkward in social situations.
Yes.
11 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Specialties in electronics, hacking and security, and vampires and werewolves. I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That looks good. He's surprisingly athletic for a computer nerd.
I like to run in my spare time.
Oh, okay. Tertiary, 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's surprisingly empathetic for a computer nerd, but that's good. You can read people and you can read animals. It looks like.
Yep.
I like it. Let me fix your green goddamn bullshit down here. So you've taken 10 points in merits and you've noted a little 10. That's nice. Eidetic memory, meditative mind, fleet of foot, 2 dots in resources, direction sense, natural immunity. That all looks great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your health is stamina plus size. So that's 3 plus 5 should be 8.
Oh, okay.
Your willpower is your resolve plus your composure. So that should be 6. Yep. Good to go. Okay. Norlin done. Drewby, are you done?
I'm looking for.
Okay.
I'm done.
Leo said he was done. 5 points in mental. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. He went all the way up to 4 in intelligence. That's very impressive. That's like Olympic level smarts. 4 points in physical. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 points in social. 1, 2, 3. He's very composed. I like it. Skills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 8, 11 is the way to count that. And he's got specialties in World War II puzzles and debunking occult bullshit everywhere he can.
That's me. That's Albacore.
He's learned a lot about the occult, and his specialty is calling bullshit wherever he can. I like it. Secondary, social, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and tertiary is physical, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, looks good. Common sense, and he took common sense and encyclopedic knowledge.
Nice.
After I believe I explicitly told him not to.
You said eidetic memory.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay, that's fine. And 1 dot in resources. He's got like $500 a month he can spend.
I'm a library's assistant.
That's fine.
I don't make much money.
I'm not making fun of you. Your health is your stamina plus your size, so 7. Your willpower is resolve plus composure, so it should be 5. It's 6, but it should be 5.
You said willpower plus... Wait, what was it?
Resolve plus composure.
Oh, I did. I thought it was stamina plus composure. My bad. 5 it is.
All right, and I think I didn't look at Nolan's speed, but
I need one more specialty.
Strength,
Speed is
dex,
12.
strength, dex, and 5 is 10. Okay, looks good. Initiative, I'll just assume you did the math right. Norlin, I also probably assume you did the math right, but let's just check. Strength plus dex plus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, your speed is not 12.
I have 3 in fleet of foot. My speed is 12.
Oh, beautiful. All right.
You're a fast little programmer.
Well, then hold on. You've got... Yeah, no, you're right. Right on. 12 speed. Shale, what
So
were
for
you
the
saying?
specialties, am I supposed to put more than one thing in each one of them?
It is your specialty in that skill.
I think I'm set.
You can have up to 3.
If you put 3 things in, if you say you're an academic and you've got X, comma, Y, comma, Z, that's 3 specialties, all in academics. That's valid, but that's all 3 of your specialties.
Ah.
Okay, then I gotta change one here.
Shale, what were you saying?
I think I'm done.
Okay. Primary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Secondary 1, 2, 3, 4. Tertiary 1, 2, 3. Skills 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Secondary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tertiary 1, 2, 3, 4. Your specialties are in jury rigging. I like it. Shaking tails and crossbows with an exclamation point.
Crossbows! Yeah!
Crossbows! And you are a stunt driver with some resources, son. Holy shit. With directions, sense, fast reflexes, and iron stamina. Okay.
I think I've done now.
If anyone has done something like, for example, taken directions sense, don't count on me to remember all of your merits. I'll do what I can. But if you think something is applicable in a given situation, just be like, hey, by the way, shouldn't I know where we are? And I'll be like, oh, shit, my bad, yes. Shale, I'm hearing a lot of echo through you. Have you taken off your headphones or something?
No?
Can you turn down the volume a little?
Sure.
Thanks. All right. And your size is 5. Your speed is strength plus dex plus 5. Yep. Okay. Defense. Oh, yeah, I forgot to check everyone's defense, but it's the lower of your wits and No. What is it?
Dexterity and wits.
Yes. Yeah, dex and wits.
I have 2.
Okay, that looks fine. Let's move on to Drewby. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 points. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. With a specialty in con jobs, comma, misdirection. Okay. That's 2 specialties. And then a specialty in moving in the dark. Okay. Contacts. Does that mean you're good at like seeing where the shadows are and staying in them, or
Navigating through the dark is how I
oh,
interpret
okay,
it.
so like you have no trouble not tripping on stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So your contacts are Teamsters and Christian fundamentalists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Your size is 5. Your speed is 10. Your speed should be your... Yep, you're right. 10. Your health should be stamina plus size. 1, 2... It should be 7. Oh, you haven't changed your health and willpower. Just look at the formulas on the bottom and set them.
Okay.
All right, so I think we're done setting up characters. Finally.
Hooray!
Hooray! I think it's time to start some music.
Ooh, creepy.
Yeah, that's Rhythm Bot for you. Creepy fucker.
Is that why you were fucking around with that all afternoon?
Yeah. Sorry.
That was you. My wife thought fucking Pokemon Go chats were like rage.
What? All right, stop rolling for a minute.
I'm on a Discord.
It's so fun though.
All right. So hopefully we'll have some creepy music playing in a minute here. Oh, not roll. I want play.
Too creepy.
Ooh, it's so environmentally. In mood setting.
I'm terrified.
If it's too loud, just go to Discord, right click on the Rhythm Bot, and adjust the volume from your end. I can't do it from my end.
I'm getting a drink.
Oh, Drewby's getting a drink. Well, I guess we won't start then. How was everyone's week?
It was good. I'm gonna get a drink while he gets a drink.
Okay.
So
Let's
I
see
was
what
toying
YouTube is saying.
with being...
Okay, I'm back.
What's that, Norla?
I was toying with being more of an asshole for my character. I was going to be a... What was I going to be? I was going to be a Robert Baratheon impersonator.
Wait, Robert Baratheon impersonator?
Yes.
So you just run around
But I don't
bellowing
get
and
much
punching
work,
people?
so...
Or?
I don't get much work, so I spend my time on the message boards for a cult. So.
Humorous, but a difficult character to play.
Yes.
Hopefully Liu will say something when he's back and we can get started. So we've covered what the world of darkness is. It's a scary place. You roll d10s and die. We covered all the attributes, we covered all the skills, we covered all the merits. We know how to roll. We covered how damage works. I think we're done with all that. I have notes for myself.
So where did you get all the creepy music?
YouTube. Actually, I should probably give the guy some props. I found a playlist. A guy named Noctilucant.
Yep.
It's pretty decent. Like just ambient, creepy horror music.
Cool.
I think it'll work
I'm
okay
back.
to establish a vibe. Hi, Liuv. What are you drinking?
Hi. Some red wine.
Oh.
It is a Boda Box Cabernet Sauvignon.
I like it. All right, so
Me too.
we've covered all the rules. We know we've got the buttons on roll 20. If I tell you to roll wits plus composure and that adds up to 5 for you, you're gonna click the roll button. You're gonna type in 5 and you're gonna roll 5 dice, and we're gonna see how you do. Like just now, Timothy Esperson got some successes too.
Oh yeah.
I beat him though. But don't roll randomly too much, because I'm gonna be like, what the fuck you rolling? And you're gonna be like, oh, I don't know. And I'm gonna be like, okay.
But it's fun for now.
I'm rolling what kind of sandwich I'm eating.
Okay. So the story. Again, you are nerdy supernatural investigators. Giant nerds. You're drawn to adventure. We've covered who's in the group. We've got Sammy Willem. We've got Sammy Willem, the unrepentant moron. We've got Timothy Esperson, the timid IT guy. We didn't cover where everyone lives, so we'll get to that in a second. We've got Dewey Duller. He's a true believer, but he can't believe it, or he can't prove it. And the music went away. Why is it so quiet?
It's
What are you
just a
doing,
quiet
music?
part.
Yeah.
Show me the cue. Up next. Let's, I can't hear you, music.
Wow, those are some long tracks.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
Here we go.
I just had turned it down quite a bit.
I need my atmospheric music, man. I can't do this. All right. Dewey Duller, the true believer, but he can't prove anything. And fucking with his efforts to prove anything, we have Albacore Masterson, the skeptical observationist. Have we decided what your group is named?
No.
Let's think about that. What do you want to call yourselves? You've got a subreddit and everything. So nominate a name. I think
I would
you
just
should...
go with Oblivious.
Oh, that's a good name. Oblivious.
Yeah,
Oblivious, absolutely non-skeptic believers of everything is what I would call you.
Inc.
Oblivious Inc. That's amazing.
I like it.
Okay, so your group is called Oblivious Inc. You have a subreddit where you coordinate everything online. You post a lot. You go on adventures. You all have enough means to travel to some limited extent. You don't fly to Bali every week or anything, but you gather around some haunted house or some abandoned insane asylum, and you go in and you look around and you film stuff with infrared cameras, and you record things with old-fashioned tape recorders, and you take copious notes, and then you go home mostly disappointed. But once in a while, you find something cool. It's a hobby. It's something to do on the weekends. There's another member of your group. Her name is Allison Keene. She's 30 years old. She manages inventory for 6 hospitals in the Milwaukee area. She loves Settlers of Catan. She complains about the DC Universe movies every chance she gets. She thought they showed too much of Harley Quinn's titties in Suicide Squad, and she felt marginalized as a woman. She's a little bit of a kleptomaniac. She's always got a lighter on her, even though she doesn't smoke. She's always got a pack of gum. And the fact that she slipped them off the counter at a gas station is the group's worst-kept secret. She went to high school in Sun Prairie. She dropped out of college at Stevens Point. And she's on Xanax for social anxiety.
Damn.
She acts like the group's den mother, or she acts like she assumes that a den mother would act. And she's not a very good actress. She tends to be the dynamo at the center of the group and on the subreddit when it comes to picking out places to visit, helping to organize everything. That's the one den mother activity she actually nails pretty well, is just organizing and bringing orange slices. In the past year, she's had you traveling all over the Midwest. Let me show you some of the cool places you've been. I have a map.
Sweet.
What's her name again?
Her name is Allison Keene. Let me type that so I don't forget it.
Do we call her Allison, or does she have a nickname?
Is that 1 L or 2?
2 L's.
Is it Keen?
Keene.
Ooh, Keene.
Keene. She doesn't have a nickname. I mean, she has a username on Reddit, if that's what you're asking, but she's just Allison.
Okay.
She's very practical that way. So in the past year, she has been very active. It's like she's going down the list of top 10 most haunted places in the Midwest, basically. You've gone to Lemp Mansion, which is in St. Louis, Missouri. Are you guys looking at Roll20 right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So you've been to Lemp Mansion. You've been to Archer Avenue, which is in a suburb of Chicago. You've been to the Bullock Hotel, which is way out in Deadwood, South Dakota. That's
Nice.
that's the farthest place you've gone so far.
I've actually been there.
You've been to the Bullock Hotel? It's haunted.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah, I took the ghost tour and everything.
I like it.
Well, we all did. We were there.
Yeah.
we did. Yeah, geez, Albacore, get it straight.
Right around 6 weeks ago, she had you at the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, which is in a place called Midlothian, Illinois. It's a little bit south of Chicago. It's not quite a suburb. Not elevated to the level of a suburb. And it's a cemetery, so you were all very creeped out. Let's roll something real quick. Would everyone just quickly roll? Let me look at your character sheets.
How creeped out we were.
No. Roll resolve plus composure. So add your resolve and your composure. So Dewey Deller rolled 0 successes. Timothy got 3, Albacore got 2, Sammy Willem got 0. So Timothy and Albacore, aka Norlin and Liuv, were not convinced, but Drewby and Shale, aka Sammy Willem and Dewey Deller, swear they saw the White Lady searching for her lost infant in the graveyard, which is the local legend. It's one of many. It's a haunted hotspot. What can you say? Some people see stuff, some people don't. But the point is, a good time was had by all, and you've been very active in the last year or so. A month ago, you planned a trip to the Ohio State Reformatory, which is in Mansfield, Ohio, and the idea was it's an abandoned, young person's prison, more or less, and the idea was you'd get together at Denny's beforehand, spend the night or as much of the night as you could tolerate inside the reformatory, and then scamper away home at the end. But Allison never showed up. She was there for Bachelor's Grove Cemetery 6 weeks ago, but a month ago she was not there at the reformatory, and you haven't heard anything from her on the subreddit in the past month. She's been very quiet. Your next trip, which is on Allison's itinerary, is to the Gorman funeral home / mortuary services in Detroit. It's actually in a blighted neighborhood called Del Rey. And that's the plan. I mean, some of you have got plane tickets. Some of you have already driven your trailers all the way there, and you're waiting on the outskirts of town. So, I mean, tell me how you want to proceed. You have heard absolute butt kiss from Allison. Anybody want to say anything? See, this is the problem, right? Allison was always the one to organize everything, and now you guys are stuck on your own.
She's always there, so we may as well just go. I'm sure she'll be there.
Well, she wasn't there at Ohio State, but
yeah, but how long ago was that? I mean, something had just come up.
That was a month ago.
Yeah,
it was a month ago.
We got to at least, might as well, same thing. Go and see.
Her mom probably got sick or something.
Yeah. So what's the plan? Are you gonna meet in a hotel room for some butt sex beforehand, or are you gonna meet at Denny's? As normally you meet at Denny's. You find a Denny's because there's a Denny's everywhere. And yes, indeed, there is a Denny's 6 blocks away from the Gorman mortuary.
Okay.
So if you want to go to Denny's,
I don't like the Denny's in Detroit.
I haven't had a Grand Slam in a while.
All right.
No one has.
I'm game for Denny. Shale's buying. He's rich.
Sure.
Yeah. How many dots and resources do you rich bastards have? Shale's got 3 dots. 3 dots. Let's look at them. Let's look at Maris.
Remember, I sold my chicken farm.
That's true. It's true. 3 dots in resources means you've got probably on the order, $2,000 to $3,000 a month in just totally disposable income. So no problem. In fact, you probably don't pay rent because you live in your trailer. You've got all kinds of money.
He's in a trailer too.
No, I live on my hobby farm.
Oh, sorry. Drewby's the one in the trailer. Drewby's the one in the trailer.
But like I said, I sold a big chicken farm, so
I don't pay for gas because I've converted it to run on used fryer grease,
which is why you are.
I just pull up behind the Denny's and just
that partially explains the smell.
Yeah. I talked him into it. I'm persuasive. So
the plan is okay. So the plan is to meet at Denny's. So the day before, you're planning to visit the mortuary on Halloween because you're a bunch of dorks.
It's the best time, baby.
Is anyone bringing any equipment along? Like, what do you traditionally bring to these things?
I bring a laptop.
That makes sense.
I bring a flashlight.
Flashlight. I like that. That's, you know what? He's thinking on the right lines. You guys need to
Well,
take
my
some
laptop
notes.
could be used as a flashlight.
Well, yeah, I always have a flashlight and a camera with me.
And a crossbow.
And usually, well, yeah, and I keep the crossbow in the trunk. And the flashlight's it's like a 6D cell mag light, so I can use it to hit things.
Oh, yeah, it's a melee weapon. All right.
I have a pistol and a bat.
And you keep the
Wait,
pistol.
like for baseball or just the animal?
No. No, I have no talents in animal ken. It is a baseball bat, and the pistol I keep in my waistband.
Oh, I also have a little field notes thing and a pencil.
Yeah,
like a moleskin notebook.
Yeah, you know.
I have a body camera
nerd.
that I wear
Ooh, a
whenever
body
we go on
camera.
these things.
Wow. Okay. Does it
With
see
night
infrared?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Well, not infrared. It's just
It does
night
now.
vision.
you spend a
It's not
lot of
infrared, but it's
time in
night
the dark.
Yeah. Not
You know,
infrared, but night
you
vision.
don't need to list everything you've got on your person because something's going to come up at some point. We're going to be like, oh, we tie up the ghostly the amusement park operator in a ghost costume with some rope, and I'll be like, do you have any rope? And you'll be like, nope, and I'll be like, okay, never mind. No, we'll be a little bit
I have a
forgiving.
Pez dispenser.
I have a pack of gum.
Oh, is that in honor of Allison, who always had a pack of gum that she'd stolen from a gas station in the area?
Sure is.
Yes.
All right.
As long as it was spearmint gum.
I have the card
Double
for
mint.
my health insurance and my driver's license.
All right, so we're
Also
at
my
Denny's.
library card.
All right, so you're at Denny's now. Does everyone order a Grand Slam or only Liuv?
I always get an eggs over hammy.
Eggs over hammy.
I
don't know that one.
waffles.
I am getting a Grand Slam with an extra side of bacon, and a large orange juice, and a carafe of coffee.
Is there any menu item that I can order where I have to make a roll?
You're all going to be making rolls because anyone who eats at Denny's is going to be subject to. Let me look this up. Poison.
I have resistance to that.
Yeah.
I don't.
All right.
I'm
So
all ready to go to Denny's.
I would like everyone to roll resolve because you need to resolve to eat a Grand Slam. Plus stamina, plus occult, just in case.
Would my common sense keep me from eating this?
Yes, it would. You order an orange juice.
That's 8 dice for me.
I guess
Yeah,
I
let's
just
go.
I went with the orange juice, I guess.
Oh shit! Did I get poisoned by a ghost?
No,
Oh,
but
you got a one.
you get the shits from the coffee, and it's real greasy shits.
Great.
Right, so Drewby enters the bathroom. And meanwhile, everyone else.
Sammy Willem.
Is it a haunted bathroom?
Sammy Willem enters the bathroom. No, you're at the Denny's, dude.
Okay.
Denny's is still 6 blocks away from the Gorman funerary
We're
last
already
rites
losing.
funeral hall. Yeah. Okay, so Allison does not show up. You wait around for a while. Maybe you're hoping.
Do we have her cell phone number? Can we text her?
Yeah, you've all got her cell phone number. Anyone want to call her?
Text her. Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
I'm
so
not going to.
so let me roll a die here. So Shale doesn't want to.
The
I
other
don't
guys
have a
will
cell
take care of
phone.
it.
Oh, and Drew doesn't have a cell phone. So it's Norlin or Liuv. Even is Norlin and odd is Liuv. Okay, so Liuv, you call Allison on your phone. And you hear a ringtone over the classy glass wall next to your booth. And simultaneously, you all turn and look, and there she is, sitting over there, looking a little bit confused.
See, I told you she'd be there.
She doesn't pick up her phone. She just sits there while it rings.
Well, that's not very nice of her.
No.
She's not
Liam.
eating anything. She's not drinking anything.
Liam, go talk to her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over there and talk to her.
All right. You walk around the classy glass
I am
wall at
terrified.
Denny's.
You're in the bathroom. You're not terrified of anything.
I'm in the bathroom.
Well, you might be.
That's why he's terrified.
Drewby is safe
He has
from
to go to the
Allison.
bathroom.
Yeah.
So Albacore Masterson, the skeptic, I'm good, thanks, approaches Allison, and she doesn't look up.
Poker.
I was gonna say I poke her.
All right, she looks up at you,
What the
and
fuck?
she smiles pleasantly. She seems like maybe she recognizes you. She says, I cannot wait to go to this funeral home. This is going to be incredible. Where is everyone?
I'm in the bathroom.
Yeah, Sammy's shitting all over everything.
Oh,
And
typical.
We're
typical,
right over here in the other
Typical
thing.
Sammy.
Come sit
Oh,
with us.
oh, you're all sitting right over there. I didn't even notice you. Silly me. She gets up from her booth, and she walks with you around the classy glass wall at Denny's, and joins the group, and sits down. She still doesn't order anything, but she eyes all the scrambled eggs at the table with a little bit of envy.
Can I ask her if she has any gum?
Of course she does.
Okay.
Have I returned from the bathroom?
You tell me, mister.
Nah, it was really bad coffee. You guys probably should keep asking her where the hell she's been.
Yeah,
Can
I
I
guess I
leave?
asked her where she's
Okay.
been. What the hell? Why didn't you answer the phone, bitch?
That's a fair question.
That's how we talk to each other. It's cool.
Oh, good for it.
He calls everyone a bitch. Fine.
She smiles pleasantly again, and asks you to repeat yourself. Do you repeat yourself?
Yes.
Okay. She's not really with it right now. She just smiles and nods.
Can I use my empathy to see if anything has happened? Or...
Sure. Roll wits plus composure plus empathy.
Adding is hard. 7.
Let's see. 3 successes.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're reading her as she speaks, or in this case, does not speak, and
Sure.
she doesn't seem like herself. Clearly,
Yeah.
she seems a little out of sorts. And while you're observing her, her whole demeanor shifts. Her face falls into an almost desolate expression, and she looks confused. She looks like she just woke up from a bad dream. And then, while you continue to observe, since you haven't said anything, her demeanor shifts again back to pleasant and composed, but not talking.
so while I'm in the bathroom, I have a weird feeling besides what's happening in my body. I would like to sense some occult presence.
You would like to? Do you have unseen sense? You do.
I do.
Nice.
Let's look at your sheet. You have a unseen sense. Well, why don't you give me wits, composure, and unseen sense with a -4 modifier.
Ooh.
And then a further -6 modifier because you're in the bathroom.
Oh. Trying to
So
sense
I don't
things.
get to roll.
Like-
So you don't get to roll. You should probably finish your shit.
Can you
All right.
give chance?
All right, I'm gonna wipe up and then come on out. I am going to wash my hands first, and then I'm going to come out. And
Do you make a habit of just just checking your surroundings for anything supernatural? Is this something you just do? I mean,
Yes.
I'm asking
Just in the
genuinely.
bathroom.
Yeah. No. So you come out of the bathroom, and you just
Yeah,
sort of reflexively make a resolve plus
I
composure.
had an odd feeling in
No,
there. 'cause
I'm fine with this, Drew. I'm asking earnestly whether this is something you do habitually, because
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sammy.
So roll wits, composure, and unseen sense with a -4 penalty.
So 4.
Two successes.
2. Nice.
At the moment, you don't really sense anything.
All right, I want to ask Allison if she knows us.
Of course, my friends, Sammy, Dewey, Albacore, and Timothy. I can't wait to go to the Gorman mortuary.
Well, shit, let's go.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, if she's sure, let's go.
Should we pay
I'll
the
pay
bill
the
or
bill.
not?
I'll pay the bill. I got
Oh,
it.
you've got the disposable income, so
Yeah, it's fine.
That's good.
I
'cause
always
was,
pay-
I
I
was
always
going
buy
to
Denny's.
roll for subterfuge and sneak the fuck out.
dine and dash at Denny's. Oh my
I always
God,
buy
that's
Denny's. It's fine.
that is the
It's very
height of.
alliterative.
I haven't
That's
done
awful.
that since high school, man.
I'm surprised I didn't crawl out the bathroom window.
No,
Denny's bathrooms don't have windows. Come on.
It's no, I always
They know better
buy
than
Denny's
that.
every time we go somewhere. Don't worry about it.
All right, good.
All right, so would everyone quickly on your way out of the restaurant here make a wits plus composure roll for me?
Eventually, I remember what these numbers are, and I won't have to look
Yeah.
every time.
Can always make a note.
2 successes.
Wits
I know
plus
how to leave a
composure.
Denny's. Yeah.
Is that everyone?
I rolled. Yeah, it looks
That's
like
all
it.
4 of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tim and Albacore, Sammy and Timothy notice that again she's waning. Allison is continuing her gyration between whatever these states of mind are. Albacore and Timothy, sorry, Sammy and Dewey notice that. Albacore and Timothy furthermore notice that she has her hands in her pockets and she looks agitated at the moment, but she's following. She's coming out of the restaurant with you. So are you just going to walk 6 blocks to the funeral home, which is fine, or do you have a car? What's
Let's
the
all
plan?
get in my camp van.
Well, I've
Can
got
I
my
run?
truck.
I thought we just ran Dewey's truck.
I'm driving
right.
my own vehicle.
I haven't had a good run in a couple days. Can I run there?
You can. It's 6 blocks. It's not that far.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my truck.
All right. Well,
All
if
right,
you brought,
actually,
if you
I'm
brought,
going to get in his truck instead of driving because I need to save on my grease.
you need to save on your.
We're at the Denny's, Drew. You can fill
Exactly,
up.
it's perfect. They can fuel him right back up.
If you've got good parking spots, those are hard to come by at Denny's. So you might want to
Right in the front.
walk, but it's up to you.
See it from the county highway.
All right. So is someone driving or are you all walking?
Shale's
or-
driving.
Okay.
Dewey.
Shale's driving because he's got his he's got his chicken mobile, his truck that he spent his chicken money on. So anyone wants to ride in the back, they can. Shale can make a drive roll to find out if he kills anyone.
I think I'll ride in the cab.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I'm gonna
club
run.
cabin. There's only 5 of us, so
It's
All
got
right.
like seatbelts for 12.
I called shotgun.
All right, Shale.
Yeah.
Roll. We're not going to do this every time you drive your car, but
Hope so.
roll
But
wits.
this 6 box is really important.
Roll wits, dexterity, and drive.
It's a lot of dice.
2 successes. You successfully navigate the 6 blocks to the Gorman
Thank
funerary
God.
home.
Hey, nice work.
Well
High
done.
five.
Well
GPS
done.
of the truck came in handy.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone arrives. You're standing in what can only be described as a post-apocalyptic wasteland. This is
Detroit.
Detroit.
yeah. This is not just Detroit, but Del Rey. You are in the blightiest of the blighted neighborhoods. No one is here. No one owns any of the buildings around. Nothing has been left without 3 to 4 layers of graffiti. There are no cars. There are no people. There are no animals, as far as you can tell. As you approach the funeral home, you see, surprisingly enough, a pristine sign out front that says Gorman Mortuary and then in a subtitle underneath it says "We grieve with you." It's a classy subtitle for a funeral home.
Sure.
And nothing has been touched. This building is perfectly fine. No graffiti at all.
Unseen sense.
Unseen sense. Roll. What did I call for before?
Resolve. Wits, composure, unseen sense.
Wits, composure, and unseen sense. Yeah, we'll do wits, composure, and unseen sense with no negative modifier this time. Seven.
Wow.
Okay. That is our game's first exceptional success. Five or more successes means something special happens. All right.
Ooh.
So as you approach the Gorman Funeral Home /
Seem
mortuary,
a little fucked up.
indeed, there is some activity here. You've been around, right? Should I pull up the map of all the places you've been? You've been around. Actually, we're looking at it right now.
Yeah,
Let me zoom in.
We're looking at the back there.
You've been around. You've been to all these famous haunts, and frankly, you haven't felt a whole lot going on. You like to try and convince yourself once in a while that, oh yeah, I totally saw the white lady looking for her baby in the cemetery. Bullshit. This place, though, there is crazy stuff happening here, and for a moment, you get the sense that the building itself is alive. I mean, there is, and frankly, from the sense you're getting right now, probably no one ever approaches this place. No one comes near it, and that's why there's no graffiti on the outside. That's why all the windows are intact. That's why the sign out front is still legible after God knows how many years of...
Question.
Go right ahead.
Time of the day is it? Did we have breakfast at Denny's, or did we have dinner at Denny? Like,
What time of the day is it? What time did you guys meet?
In the morning.
Well, we're going here for Halloween.
At 10 a.m. like we always do.
10 a.m. like you always do. All right. So it's bright and sunny, and I mean, I say sunny, but of course it's Detroit in October, so there's a it's the sky is gray, but it's bright. You can see everything.
Sure.
Okay, I'd like to use my encyclopedic knowledge about the Gorman mortuary.
All right. Roll intelligence, academics, and encyclopedic knowledge.
Damn, that's 12.
Wow. That's
3 successes.
And I got 3.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, that's fine. 3. Anything more than 1 is enough.
All right. Nice.
I mean, you researched this place beforehand. You know all the history of the building, and you know that the Gormans were they're like 7th generation Detroit citizens. They came over on a boat. They didn't even land in New York. They came like through Hudson Bay and the series of Great Lakes and came to Detroit that way. They've been around since the frickin' French fur traders. And the Gorman Funeral Home has been around nearly that long. It's an institution, or it was, before being completely abandoned.
Well, that's helpful.
Can I check if there's a Wi-Fi signal?
It
It might indicate that there are like people there,
Sure.
instead of
You can check.
occult beings.
Give me wits and give me wits and investigation.
It's only 4. 0. Okay.
You have no idea if there's any Wi-Fi. You're looking at your laptop right now. You've got your laptop. You've got your laptop open. Everyone is illuminated by the glow of its screen, and you cannot tell whether there is a Wi-Fi signal.
That's embarrassing.
What's Allison doing right now?
Allison is perfectly quiet. She is
She's
placid,
hanging out with us?
smiling, calm, approaching the building. In fact, she's at the front of the group.
Can we ask her to wait outside?
You can. Whether she'll pay attention to you or not is another story. Are you going to go inside?
Have persuasion or something?
Well, I'm going to walk
roll
up to
for
the
that?
door and see if it's just open or not.
All right.
All
Is
right.
the door open?
The door is open.
Okay.
Do you enter? Does everyone enter?
Is there a doorbell?
There is no doorbell. I mean,
Is
there
there
may
a
be, but
knocker?
it's
I
not
push the
functional.
door open with my flashlight and look inside.
Clever man. What you see is more or less a mundane funeral home. It's not in the best of shape. It's been abandoned for clearly at least a quarter of a century at this point. But you don't see any obvious signs of ghostly activity. You don't see any bums rushing you with knives. It's just an empty funeral home.
Are the lights on?
There are no lights.
Okay.
There are no lights?
How big is the funeral home? Like when we walked up to it, is it a 2-story building? Is it a very wide?
It's a
big?
1-story building.
It's just a okay.
Does it have a basement?
You're gonna have to go inside to find that out.
Well, let's go inside.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
go inside.
We pile in.
There's nothing to be afraid of. Come on, let's go.
All right, fair enough. Everybody, give me a wits, composure, and occult roll.
Oh shit.
And Drewby, you can add your unseen sense to the roll.
Okay.
That was 2.
3.
Okay, so Drewby rolled 3 successes. Looks like Shell got 2. I think you've got 5. Looking pretty good. Now you're all. I mean, not all of you have unseen sense, which might have alerted it to you out on the street, and therefore you might have let the group know there was something going on. If you did, in fact, have unseen sense and it told you something. Yeah.
It just said that the building was like pristine compared to everything else around it.
But now that
creepy,
you're
man.
inside, you don't even need unseen sense to get the feeling that it's just wrong in here. But that said, physically, again, it's pretty mundane. And you can see a desk at the front of the home. You can see a couple of hallways leading into the back. You can see what might be some stairs. Maybe it is a basement.
What might be some stairs? We're not sure.
You're gonna have to go in.
Let's go to the basement.
No, stop. For God's sake.
Basement. Dude,
I
there's
would
nothing here. It's an empty fucking building.
I
Is
would
there a
like to borrow
computer?
Shale's. I would like to borrow Shale's cell phone to call my contacts in the Christian fundamentalist sect to come do an exorcism.
All right. Does anybody want to investigate?
I would like to investigate.
You're the skeptic. So roll. Let me look at your character sheet real quick. Roll wits plus investigation.
Roll 7, go.
All right.
2
So
successes.
you walk a little further in. You see down one of the hallways. You see definitely, yes, there are stairs. You see a shoebox, which is conspicuously. Sorry, one sec. Could you turn off the furnace? You see a shoebox in the hallway, just sitting on the floor. The place isn't exactly untouched on the inside. I mean, it's not orderly as if people had been here operating the place as a mortuary yesterday, but there's not debris everywhere. So the shoebox sticks out. You see in the other hallway, you see it leads back to like what is probably a preparation area. This is a mortuary, so normally a funeral home just directs the funeral, and you would know this thanks to your encyclopedic knowledge. The funeral home has a funeral director, and they put together a nice funeral. A mortuary is much more involved in the preparation of a body for burial or cremation. So probably at the end of this other hallway is where they do that preparation.
I would like to take a piece of furniture and block the front door from being able to close itself.
Okay.
Sure.
Seems oddly specific. You're not cheating, are you?
No, I'm not cheating. I'm just
right.
really paranoid.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
So you said there were stairs down?
Yeah, so there's
We're
two
going
hallways.
immediately. We're gonna.
No, we're not
gonna
doing
go
that.
look at the prep room or something first. We're going straight to the basement.
Okay, there's
I would like to investigate the shoebox.
okay, there's one
Yeah.
hallway. We'll refer to them as left and right. The left hallway, which is right behind the desk, there's a shoebox sitting on the floor, and there's a couple of doors on both sides of the hallway, probably leading to some offices or a supply closet or something. The right hallway leads straight back to, again, yes, like a prep room of some sort.
I would like to tell Allison to go open the shoebox.
Allison is already approaching the shoebox. You don't even need to say anything to her.
Oh.
She picks it up. She walks back to the group. She's got a calm, friendly smile on her face.
She was probably gonna steal the shoes. She's a thief, remember?
Well, she's a woman. They like shoes. I would like to use my common sense to think about the shoebox.
You should ask her to open it.
Do you want to? So all right. So common sense. You do have.
I would
common
like
sense,
to use
so-
my unseen sense to think about the shoebox.
Common sense lets me roll for you if you are undertaking a disastrous course of events. Once per session. Do you want me to do that right now?
Let's not. How bad can a shoebox be?
Probably, Pandora's shoebox and all that, so we're probably fine.
Pandora did have a shoebox. Yeah, that's what I hear.
But Pandora is bullshit.
All right.
Fucking
So
stupid.
Allison hands you the shoebox, and immediately you feel inexorably drawn away from the building. You just want to leave.
We want to leave.
You want to leave. But she opens the shoebox and she pulls out, if anyone's still there and watching, a thick stack of what look like vintage photographs. And she says, "Boy, look at this. We should look at these." And she starts flipping through the stack of photographs. And this place has been here for God knows how long, 150, 200 years. They've been operating forever. So they've got some real old stuff, and they've got probably old-fashioned practices and methods that they followed right on up into the mid to late 20th century, where people stopped doing certain things because they were considered too macabre. For example, visible in these photographs are carefully posed infants and children and other family members, but primarily this is done with kids to make them seem more lifelike. If someone was stillborn or died as a very young baby, the funeral home would make them look real nice and pose them in the mother's arms, so they'd have a nice memento. There's all kinds of these photos, and it seems like every single one of them has some beautifully posed but clearly dead person in it. And as she flips through the stack, would you all please make a wits and composure roll for me?
I got 2 successes.
So, let's see here. Timothy got 2, Sammy got 2, Dewey got 2, Albacore got 3. You all did pretty well. So, as she flips through the photos, she is reacting to some of them.
Reacting how?
She has left her pristine state of placid peacefulness. She is agitated, but she keeps flipping through the photographs.
I ask her what's bothering her, why she's agitated.
She's flipping through and she says, "Well, I know some of these people. Some of these people are still alive. This is
Are
my
any of the
mother."
people Keanu Reeves?
Nope, none of them are Keanu Reeves.
Okay.
Are any of them us?
She shows you a photograph. You look at it. It's no one you recognize, but she says, "This is you,
Who'd she say that to?
Drew / Sammy Willem."
Okay.
I want to try and convince her that it's not him.
Okay. Why don't you make a manipulation plus socialize plus what have you got? That's all you've got.
Weapon.
I've got persuasion.
Okay. Well, you're right. Yeah, manipulation plus persuasion with a -2.
With the -2. All right.
Wow. Nice.
You rolled 1 success. Her state of agitation seems to succumb, and it's not because you've calmed her down necessarily, although you might take credit for it. I don't know you.
Oh, I will.
She's back to her peaceful state. She's happy and smiling, and she continues to flip through the photographs.
I would like to misdirect her into going down the hall towards the prep room.
So you're going to call her attention to the right hallway and say, "Hey, Allison, what's down there?"
I want to stop her looking at the damn pictures and send her something down.
All right. Let's look at your character sheet. Why
So that
don't you
would
make
be my subterfuge specialty is misdirection.
Okay. Roll manipulation plus subterfuge with a +1 and for your specialty, and a -2. One success.
Damn.
That's plenty. It's not an exceptional success, but she says, "You know what? Sure. Yeah, that looks interesting." And she hands you the box, and she takes off down the second hallway.
I set the
Right.
box the fuck
Right.
down.
Can I go with her and make sure she doesn't do anything weird while she's back there?
Absolutely, you can
You
follow her.
went in the right hallway?
Yeah.
We sent her down? Okay.
Yep.
Let's all go with her.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
go
stay
with her.
together.
Sure.
behind
I
it.
did set the box down. I do not have the box anymore.
You did not bring the box with
Are
you.
there lights turned on? Is it light from windows coming in? Do I need to have my flashlight on? I have my flashlight on. either way.
There are lights in the front room, and there was plenty of light in the front room. In the back,
And
there's
it's
just a
midday.
it's midday, so there's a very small window up near the ceiling in the back room. The hallway is dark, but you're approaching the back room, and there's a little bit of light filtering in through that small window.
Okay.
So Allison is the first one to get there. And yes, clearly this is a prep room. There's a metal table. There are large tanks, which probably were full of awful chemicals at one time or another. And strangely enough, hey, everyone make a wits and composure. No, make a...
I like the sound of this.
hey, everyone. Make a resolve plus presence roll. With a -2. Sorry. With a
-2. Jesus Christ.
Well,
So if that leaves me
what
with
was it?
0, what does that mean?
Resolve and
Just-
presence, you said?
Resolve and presence -2.
Okay.
Okay, I got 0 successes either way.
Okay.
Do we get 2?
Do we got 2?
Go Drooby.
I'm not Dewey.
That was
Oh.
me.
Chicken farmers, Dewey.
So who else rolled? So
We all did.
Sammy got a 0, Timothy got a 0, Albacore got a 0, Dewey got a 2. So Sammy, Albacore, and Timothy noticed that one of the tanks has got a funny misspelling on it. It says embalming fluid, but instead of EMBALMING, embalming, it's spelled... Sorry, no. Yeah. So you three noticed that it's misspelled. It's spelled ENBAUMING, embalming. Oh, that's funny. Why is it misspelled? Does anyone mention it? That's misspelled. That's funny.
That's weird. That's spelt wrong. I know because I have encyclopedic knowledge about spelling of embalming.
Shale, Dewey. I mean, you don't see any misspelling at all. It says. I mean, you're not real good at spelling, but it seems right to you.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
So why did he get a
What?
success and he's worse at noticing that it It's spelled wrong.
I don't think it's spelled wrong. I think we're fucked up.
Oh.
Does anyone want to look up the word on their phones or anything? Maybe.
So is this like the creepiest? Like,
How did you spell it?
ENBAUM, embalm, instead of embalm.
Can I use
mean,
my
so-
common sense to be like,
Of
that's
course.
wrong?
Yeah, no. So roll intelligence plus common sense.
What?
Jesus. 3 successes. You're pretty sure that's right, actually.
can I look up the wrong
Embalming?
spelling on the
Embalming,
internet?
yeah. I mean, it's pretty much sure. You've got your phone. You have no Wi-Fi
Yeah.
signal, or at least you're not sure
Right.
whether there's a Wi-Fi
But
signal. But
I have data.
You've got
Ooh,
data
you're
on your
using
phone.
your data. Be careful.
you could
Yeah.
Google the word embalming,
Yeah, I will do
EMBALM.
that.
Okay, give me intelligence plus academics. No, intelligence plus computer.
6. I can use myself some Wiktionary.
3 successes. So you look up the word EMBALMING, and Google says, "Did you mean embalming?"
What?
And the entire time, I'm just sitting there going, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
Fuck you guys up to.
It's embalming.
Meanwhile, Allison, she's paying no
Unseen
attention.
detection guy.
She's paying no attention to the embalming fluid. She's onto the table and the sink
she's
in
on
the
the
corner.
table or-
No, I mean
Oh,
she's examining the table and the sink, and she's perfectly calm. She's very happy. She's having a ball.
Was there anything in this misspelled fluid tank?
No, it's empty.
Okay.
Are there drawers, like body drawers, a body cabinet in this room?
Like a what's it called? In
don't
the
know.
basement of a hospital.
Like, yeah,
Morgue.
a morgue.
Morgue. Yeah, no, there's no
Yeah,
there's no
body
morgue.
drawers.
They're they
It must be in the basement.
don't
I'm
tend
not
to
a
keep
smart man.
They didn't tend to keep the bodies up here on the first
Body
floor. No,
drawer.
I mean, as far as you can tell, there's no bodies up here.
Well, shit, this is boring. Let's go to the basement.
What about the other hallway?
I want to use my unseen sense in here.
All right, then roll wits, composure, and unseen sense. One success. You know, the feeling you had earlier is fading in this room. You're getting a little bored, but there's still something going on.
Shit.
Well, I just want to inspect the room in general a little more closely. Like, what else is there?
Okay, so give me a wits plus investigation roll.
Oh yeah, 1. Okay, 1. Yeah.
No, hang on. Wits plus investigation
Oh, wits
is
plus investigation.
is
Sorry.
3 dice.
I didn't hear you say wits.
All right.
Not any better.
Well,
Actually,
you notice there's a room, and
And we're in
I
it.
feel like maybe he would have missed something. So investigate the room.
all right.
'Cause he's not real smart.
Give me wits plus investigation.
Does common sense come into play here at all?
No.
All right.
What's
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Okay, 3
That's a
successes.
roll.
All right. So there's a couple of huge sinks on the side of the room, like in the back of a Papa John's.
I'm very familiar.
And they're dripping a bit of liquid, which is a little bit strange in Delray, Detroit, in a building that's been abandoned for 30 years. You would think they would have turned the water off, or at least filled it with lead.
Yeah. How close is Flint
it
from
water?
here?
I don't know. Is it water?
What's in the sink?
It's
I
not
wanna look
water.
in the sink.
It's dark. It's whatever's coming out is dark.
Like it's coming out of the faucet.
Coming out of the faucet. Yeah.
Dripping.
I'm streetwise. I want to like touch the fluid and see what it is.
Taste it.
That
No.
sounds like a real streetwise thing to
So
do.
you're gonna what? You're gonna smell it? You're gonna look at it?
With the texture, I want to feel it. I want to see
All right.
if it feels, if it
He
smells like
wants to see
copper.
if it's oil for his car.
Yeah.
All right. Give me intelligence plus.
Well, shit, that's not good. What?
give me intelligence plus. Streetwise doesn't come into play here, Drew. I'm sorry.
Okay, fine.
We're not on the street, Drew.
not remotely on the street, but you can smell the liquid. Give me intelligence plus investigation.
So 1. All
Yeah.
right.
Hey,
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
It is not water. Definitely not water. And you hold it up into the light, and it's got a rusty brownish. I mean, there's something wrong with whatever's coming out of this
So it's
faucet.
water from Detroit.
I mean, it's
It
just
might just be
old
Detroit
pipes
water,
in
yeah.
Detroit. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
All right. Can't run my car on it, so I lost interest.
All right, fair enough. So your next course of action.
Not biodiesel.
We should go down the other hallway.
All
Wait,
right,
what's her name again?
Allison.
Alice. Okay, what's she up to?
She's not here. She's
What?
she has
What?
apparently walked out of the room.
God damn it. Let's go find that bitch.
All right, you
I
investigate.
run out of the room yelling, Allison!
Allison, where are you? She doesn't respond. But
so
you
do we
think
get back? Is she in the main room?
nope, she's not in the main
Here.
room. You look down the other hallway and you see that the door with the stairs that leads to the basement has been forced a little farther open.
Basement, let's do it.
Can I go down there first with my stealth ability?
Sure, let's look at your stealth ability.
Hey, should I go with my
3.
stealth ability? Because I can navigate dark areas.
go together.
Yeah, good call.
Oh yeah.
Let's go
All
together.
right. So anyone who's interested in being in the vanguard, roll resolve plus stealth -3.
What?
I got a success.
You both got one
Both
success. All right, so it's just you two.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not going.
Meanwhile, I'm convincing Dewey that Drew is totally gay.
But
All right.
What?
Then Sammy and Timothy head down the stairs quietly. You know, normally
Can I point my flashlight down the stairs, or do we not want me to do that?
you could, but that might
That
interrupt
wouldn't
their
be
attempts at
stealthy.
being stealthy. Yeah,
That's
that
true. That's true. Yeah, I will
might
not
throw
do
a
that.
little bit of a wrench into the works.
Yeah, that's true.
So they are tiptoeing down the stairs while Dewey and Albacore stay upstairs and twiddle their thumbs and pray.
I'm going to investigate the hallway while they're doing that. So if
Okay.
you wanna-
Well, give me a minute. Sammy and Timothy, you're tiptoeing down the stairs, and they are wood stairs, old wood stairs. They clearly would have been extremely creaky, but you're wily, and you know that if you step, on the edges where the nails are nailed directly down into the supports underneath, there will be less motion and less creaking, and you make your way down without any loud noises. And before you even reach the bottom of the stairs, you can see Allison down there with the faint light filtering in from the hallway. There's also a window down here, but it seems to have been blocked up. Allison is standing not on the bottom, like on the floor. She's standing probably on one of the last couple steps, and she's knee-deep in water.
Drew, come smell this water for us.
So Shale, you're upstairs. Dewey is upstairs, and he's examining the hallway. Let me ask you a couple of demographic questions real quick.
Okay.
Pull up your character sheet. Would you all do me the favor and edit your character sheets with the following information in the notes section? Shale, are you left or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Where do we put this?
In the notes section at the top.
We should all put what handed we are.
Yes. Don't put that Shale is right-handed. Put whether you
Shale
are
is
left or
right-handed.
Notice
Shale,
that Shale is right.
Shale, do you have any distinguishing characteristics such as bright red hair or tattoos or distinguishing scars or?
I've got a scar on my right hand, across
Okay.
the back of my right hand.
All right.
Should we put that in our?
You should put any distinguishing tattoos or marks or scars or anything that the average person would see you on the street and say, "Gosh, that's the man with 3 legs." Put anything distinguishing in the notes section so I can have it for future reference. Shale.
Okay.
I have a tattoo on my wrist that says 1337.
I like it. Bird. Okay. So Shale is investigating the hallway, and I want him to roll wits plus composure plus investigation. Oh boy. Oh boy. 2 successes. All right. Well, one of the rooms here, there's 2 rooms aside from the stairwell leading into the basement. There are 2 other doors leading into 2 rooms. One of them is a perfectly mundane office with a desk and a filing cabinet and a lamp that is out of order. And the other room is maybe a kitchen or maybe a supply closet. There's a refrigerator that's in some shelves. That's all you know for sure.
Okay.
Would you like to investigate anything further?
I'm good for the moment.
What do you want to do?
Wait,
What do you want to do down in the water with Alice?
So now hold on. So can I look? Is there a light switch for the basement?
Yes.
I would just like to turn that on.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Sorry guys, I tried.
Is Allison looking at something, or is she just sort of hanging out?
She is studying the water, and she looks lost.
I want to go down.
Yeah, can we ask Shale to bring
staying
a
on the
flashlight?
stairs, and I'm gonna shine my flashlight around.
Can I try to persuade her to come back upstairs?
Sure. Roll manipulation plus persuasion -2.
Jesus.
That's manipulation plus persuasion -2.
Yeah, I have 4 manipulation and 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were trying to convince her to come back up?
Yeah.
All right. She looks up at you.
And gives you the finger.
And she's smiling. What do you say to her?
Hey baby.
So, how about we go get some galoshes?
Is that a key word? Would she know that word? Is that something you joke about often, or?
Well, no, she's standing in knee-deep water, so...
Oh no, that's fair. Yeah. Why don't we go get some galoshes, honey? Come on up. She's smiling. Tears are streaming down her face, and she says, "There's not much of me left in here." And she laughs. And she starts coming up the stairs.
Huh.
Right?
I heard something about a refrigerator. I want to go open that up.
All right. You open the refrigerator, and against all odds, the light inside the refrigerator comes on and illuminates a pattern of ants on the floor. There's an anthill under the refrigerator, and they are walking in a perfect circle.
Well, that sounds good.
Like where? In front of the refrigerator?
In front of the refrigerator. Shayla, are you looking at this too?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a wits plus composure roll.
Okay.
Both of us or just Shale?
Just Shale.
Power plants have failed.
They are not walking in a circle at all. They're just scrambled, normal ant behavior, walking around.
Chemicals have seeped into the water.
So I'm seeing a circle, but Shale is not. That's what you're saying?
Yeah,
So he's still not insane.
right.
Oh, good.
So what's going on in the basement?
I'm bringing her
We're waiting for
upstairs.
Shale to get the flashlight.
No, you are. I'm bringing Alice upstairs.
Oh,
I've convinced
yeah.
her we need galoshes. You can stay down there and yell
I'm
for
saying-
Shale all you fucking want.
Hey, Dewey, bring your flashlight.
Shale,
Okay. Well, I
You-
didn't
you
think
hear him?
anything
And you-
about the ants, so yeah, I go over there.
there's nothing going on with the ants. So you're going to go down there with your flashlight.
Yeah, I go down, but I stay on the stairs.
Roll real quick your dexterity plus
My
Make sure
dexterity.
you don't drop
yeah,
the
just
flashlight.
roll your dexterity plus athletics.
You need athletics for stairs?
Shale does.
Nice.
Oh, it's pretty good.
So you thump your way down the stairs, no problems. Lots of noise, lots of creaking. One of the stairs might have cracked a little bit, but you make your way down, no problem. You are an athletic son of a
Why
bitch.
are we saying I'm a big oaf? I'm pretty dexterous and stuff. I mean,
But you're not
Yeah.
stealthy. That's all.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
So-
I'd like
so
to
you-
ponder
is-
the circle of ants.
Okay, you ponder it. Shale, you've got your flashlight on.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're
I'm
looking at
standing
you're
on the stairs at the bottom with my flashlight on.
standing at the bottom of the stairs with your flashlight on. First of all, there is a crate labeled liquor near the bottom of the stairs. It's mostly submerged in water.
I have
Sam,
come back
get down
downstairs.
Okay, so there's a crate labeled liquor. Some other missing words have been, rubbed out and so forth, but it looks pretty waterlogged. But there are glass bottles inside. The basement is flooded, waist deep. It's cold. Probably it smells like salt water. Insofar as you can smell salt water, it smells like salt water. Bits of detritus are floating around. There's soggy, rotten chunks of furniture and old busted light bulbs. Well, the busted ones are at the bottom. The intact ones are floating. There are posters from the 50s up on the walls, old promotional materials and so forth. Empty jars on filthy shelves. There's a mild current, and everything in the basement is slowly circling with a gentle ebb and flow.
Okay.
I don't think I want the liquor that bad.
Somebody should investigate it. The room.
Who's at the bottom of the stairs? We've got a Sammy, we've got a Dewey, we've got a Timothy.
I would like to use my unseen sense and the water.
Didn't you go
Okay.
back upstairs?
I came back down when somebody said liquor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
You abandoned Allison up at the top of the stairs.
I left
So-
her with you to ponder the ants.
Allison and Albacore are pondering at circles. Timothy, Dewey, and Sammy are standing at the bottom of the stairs. I would like Timothy and Dewey to roll intelligence, composure, and investigation. And Sammy, you can roll those two plus your unseen sense with
Okay,
a minus
Com-
intelligence, composure,
I
and
got 0
investigation.
successes on 8 dice.
So Dewey got 2, Sammy got 3,
I got
Timothy
0.
Timothy got 0. So Timothy, there's not much going on.
Okay.
Dewey, you see something floating in the water. It looks like rubber or plastic. It's floating against the flow of the water, and it's coming towards you slowly. And Sammy, you notice it as well, and you feel like there's something fishy,
It's a fish.
like fishy.
like supernatural fishy.
Okay. So my occult sense maybe should have came into play here too. I don't know.
Your unseen sense did come into play.
Well, I know,
Is
but I
it
have a
close
cult
enough
too.
that we could grab it if, like, how far out is it?
It's it's nearly within arm's reach. It's approaching.
I would like to poke it with my baseball bat.
Okay. Roll dexterity plus survival.
Shit.
God.
And Sammy died.
1 success.
You've been eaten by a grue.
You reach out with your you unsheath your baseball bat from its comfortable home at your back. Reach it out into the middle of this swirling pool of water, and use it as an extension of your arm in attempting to touch this something. And it submerges suddenly into the murky water, and it becomes invisible. But you feel it briefly tangle with your legs before it apparently disappears.
Dang.
I would like to go upstairs.
Well, so there was no other exits from the room, right, that I saw earlier? It was just the stairs up?
Which room? The basement?
The basement.
The basement.
Yeah, no, just the stairs up.
Okay.
So is
Do I have
everyone
to
leaving?
roll to go upstairs?
So
Can I
is
just
there-
go
so-
upstairs?
Yeah, if everyone just wants to get the fuck out of here without stealth being in consideration, I'm going to assume that with the aid of the flashlight, you're all able to climb the stairs as you've been doing your whole life without any serious problems. You hear Allison laughing.
Oh God.
Looking at the ants.
Now she's not looking at the ants.
Oh,
They're
where's she
throwing
now?
out bad
Is she
words
with
now.
us? Where did her laugh come from?
Upstairs.
Okay.
I would like to persuade Shale to go to Home Depot, buy a generator and sump pump.
So you're
We're
all
on a
rushing up
team,
the
Drew. You
stairs?
could just ask.
I don't know. I think I kind of want to put my flashlight right where we saw the thing go underwater. Just kind of look at it a little closer before I run up the stairs.
All right.
I mean, since I'm not in the water. I'm on the stairs. I'm not. too
Yeah,
concerned.
you're starting to get pretty cold too, by the way. You may not be all the way in the water, but you're starting to feel cold. So roll resolve plus investigation.
All right.
Oh, wow. Okay. 2 successes. You successfully shine your flashlight at the center of the pool of water, and you don't see anything. Nothing. Okay. The water, in fact, is so murky that it's... You've seen what it looks like at night when a light is shining into Lake Winnebago and it's full of algae, and it only appears to penetrate, into the cloud of garbage, an inch or two before entirely dissolving into darkness. That's what's going on here. You can't see into the water at all.
I would like to yell for Timothy to come talk to these ants.
Sure.
Timothy, come talk to these ants!
He's got the animal Ken.
I'm gonna take some of the
Come hack
change
these ants.
from Denny's out of my pocket and throw it in the water.
You take some what from Denny's and throw it in the water?
Some of the change that I had left over from Denny's, like a
All right.
quarter, and I chuck it at the water where the thing went into the water.
It goes bloop and disappears.
Chicken farmers just throwing money away.
Okay. Well, then I go upstairs. I'm done.
All right, so everyone's pounding up the stairs. Shale is lagging behind because he was investigating further. Liuv, are you still checking out the ants?
I sure am.
Okay. Allison is standing in the hallway. When you join her, would the three of you please make a wits plus composure roll?
Am I one of the three?
Yes, everyone but Liuv. Did
we
everyone
rolling?
just roll 2?
Sorry.
Wits plus composure.
What are we rolling?
Wits plus composure. All right. So you reach the top of the stairs. Shale cruises straight around the corner because he hears Albacore screaming for help. He cruises around the corner, and Albacore is freaking out about some ants or some shit.
The circle of ants that I didn't see.
Yeah. Sammy and Timothy reach the top of the stairs, and they notice that Allison is staring back toward the front of the mortuary and just laughing her ass off. And you turn in that direction and look, and there's a tall figure standing at the end of the hallway between you and escape. You're not sure where it came from, but Allison seems to like it.
I would like to draw my pistol.
Wow.
All right. Would everyone...
quickly.
So has everyone figured out their initiative scores at the bottom of their character sheets?
Yeah.
Where?
All right. So what you do for initiative, the people in the hallway are Sammy and Timothy, right?
Yeah.
Dewey and Albacore are in the refrigerator room. Allison's in the hallway. So Sammy and Timothy, a.k.a. Drew and Norland, you're going to roll 1d10 and then add the results to your initiative. Every other roll in this game, you just roll a d10 and count successes. This is the one time you take the value of the d10 and add it to something.
Okay, so
Where am I adding it to?
To your initiative score.
okay, so I have 15.
I have
Wow.
13.
Oh, damn. All right, let me roll for the tall figure. It has a 15 also.
Ooh.
So it's coming toward you, not quickly. It's sort of, I'm not sure what the word is, hovering, floating down the hallway. It's little boots. It's not clear what's going on, but something is dragging down the hallway at the bottom of whatever this figure is. It's not walking. It's suspended.
Can we, like, talk to it? Like,
Well, it depends
if
what you
it's-
want to do when it's your turn. It's Drewby's turn right
Okay.
now, and he's spending his action to draw his weapon.
okay.
Drew, do you have
Yeah.
quick? Do you have quick draw?
I do have quick draw.
You have quick draw.
Yeah.
Well, then you can draw and fire on the same turn.
Well, I don't want to fire. Can I draw and do something else? Can I draw and threaten?
You can draw and threaten. Sure, you can take another action to shout something
question.
menacing.
Quickly, I have fast reflexes, so do I just add that to my new initiative right away, just so I remember it's always there?
Yes, so where your initiative score is at the bottom, just add fast reflexes
Like my
to that
initiative's
number.
4, so with fast reflexes I have 1 more.
Yeah, so add that to the number. So the
Just want to make sure I do that.
yeah, the formula is dexterity plus composure plus any modifiers, i.e. quick reflexes. Or fast reflexes. Or whatever it's called.
I also have fast reflexes.
Did you already add that to your initiative score? You've got resolve plus... No, wait. It's
Yeah, that-
initiative's dexterity plus composure, so you're at 4 plus 2 is 6. So then you would add also another... Is it
2.
1 or
So-
1 or 2?
Two.
One,
so,
2.
so that'd be 8.
Okay. All right,
So then-
so technically you should have gone before the figure. So you draw your weapon, and what do you want to shout at it?
I think he just wants to shoot it.
Do you want to shout at
Should I-
it, or do you want to shout to Albacore and Dewey, or do you want to shout at Allison? What do you
Yeah,
shout?
I would like to shout to Albacore and Dewey to get their asses out here
All right, so you
Bring
do
your
that.
crossbow.
and bring the crossbow.
I do have it.
Bring your dual crossbows.
I don't have
All right,
dual
so
crossbows.
so
I just
Dewey
have
and
one.
Albacore. Dewey, roll. Let me look at your character sheet. Dewey, roll wits plus investigation plus presence, which is also an attribute. So wits plus presence plus investigation.
So this guy is coming toward me and Drew, and he's between us and the other 3.
He's between you and the exit. All right, Shale. You rolled wits, presence, and investigation.
Yes.
So, first of all, you're still convinced there's nothing going on with the ants. And
Yeah, okay.
second, with 3 successes and presence as part of the roll, you not only leave the room, you do it with such authority that you grant Liuv a +2 bonus on noticing that there is in fact nothing going on with the ants.
Nice.
Liuv,
But they're in a circle.
Liuv, would you
Yes.
please roll wits, composure, investigation, and give yourself a +2 bonus?
Wits, composure, and investigation.
Yes.
And a +2 bonus.
Plus 2 is 13.
All right. 2 successes.
Two successes.
You know what? With 2 successes, the ants are still walking in a circle for a little while there, but then they kind of seem to just give up on it and start moving in random patterns, and you're like, well, that was weird. Why were they doing that? Oh well, they're not doing it anymore. My friends are calling for me, so I better go outside. As
Makes
opposed
sense.
to if you'd rolled higher, it might have been a slightly different result, but
We'll never know.
we'll never know. Okay, so you're all out in the hallway. Would Albacore and Dewey please roll 1d10 and add their initiative score to the result?
Say that again.
Roll
Is he cutting out for
1d10.
anybody else?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right.
Only
you-
occasionally.
Can you hear me? Roll 1d10 and add. So a 0, by the way, if it comes up, is a 10.
But anyway, so 1d10 plus what?
Just roll 1d10 and then add your initiative from the bottom of your character sheet.
Right. I got an 11.
I got 13.
Okay, so Liuv and Norlin are going at the same time, and Shale's going last. You spend this turn coming back out into the hallway, though. So Norlin, you're out in there in the hallway, and
Can
Druby
I
is
try to
howling, and
use my stealth to sneak by and passively behind this being?
no, it can see you.
No.
It's not a matter of throwing a smoke bomb and becoming concealed. You know, you're
Smoke bomb.
yeah, it's staring straight at you right now. So
How far away is it?
it is now about 8 feet away, moving very slowly.
I got nothing. Can I try to hack it with my computer?
You know what? Give me a intelligence plus computer with a +1 for hacking and a -4 because you can't hack things in real life like this. But go ahead
It's
and
still
try.
3. That's
Still
3
3.
dice.
And you got one success. So you successfully figure out its password for Yahoo Mail.
What is it?
It's the word master with a 4 replacing the A. Okay.
It's not very original.
It's a very old password since it's only takes 6 characters.
Yeah. He's old school. All right, so we're back around to Drew at the top of the initiative order. What would you like to
is
do?
the whole group with me now?
Yes, the whole group is in the hallway, including Allison, who continues to laugh.
Do we do?
She continues to what? Sorry,
She's
you're
laughing.
cutting out.
Oh, jeez. She's laughing.
I'm concerned about just wildly firing at something that we don't understand.
Well, regardless of your feelings, it's approaching very slowly.
It's approaching slowly. Let's give it one more round.
Are we? How far? Like, is it like we just see a dark figure?
You have a
Is it-
flashlight. You tell me.
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for my turn.
Eh. Well, you don't-
I want to point the flashlight directly at this thing, and look it up
Your
and down
detective
between
thing.
the
Well, you know
whatever
what?
and down to the
We'll
scraping on
yeah,
the ground.
We'll assume you came into the hallway with your flashlight at the ready, and everyone can
Right.
now see.
I would like to attempt to misdirect it towards the photographs in the shoebox I've chucked at the wall.
It's not interested.
I don't even get a chance. It's a specialty.
Look at that
Okay.
box full of photos.
Misdirection.
so
Misdirection isn't throwing a smoke bomb. It's talking to someone and tricking them.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna be this thing ain't gonna listen to reason. Is my understanding from
It has done nothing but move toward you slowly this whole time.
But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna look at it more closely with my flashlight up and down.
Okay.
See if I can
Uh,
figure what it is.
somebody
I would
like
like
try
to.
to-
I would like to fire a warning shot just past it.
Okay, so you've got the benefit of Shale's light now, and you can see that it is. It's a discolored white rubber suit. It looks like it's covered by black mold, and it looks like the sort of thing that someone might have used once upon a time during the messier portions of the embalming or embauming process. And that's about all you can tell from this distance, but it's not full of a person. It isn't taking shuffling steps. It is simply hanging in the air and moving towards you, and the feet, such as they are dragging against the ground
Can
built
we tell
beneath
if
it.
it's solid? Like it's not a ghost or anything?
Well, it's not your turn, but it looks solid.
It's making contact with the ground. It's making noise. All right. Yeah. I don't want to do a warning shot. I'm going to shoot it.
Okay. Okay. Give me a roll. It's 8 feet away, so that's easily within range of any weapon you might have. Roll dexterity plus firearms plus
Weaponry? Or weaponry, not fire.
you want firearms for guns, so
Sure.
and you don't have a
So-
specialty that I can see, so just roll dexterity and weaponry with what kind of a gun is it?
It's a pistol.
Let me look up weapons real quick. 170. A pistol, a light pistol gives you a, I think it's a +2 bonus. So roll dexterity, firearms, and +2 for your pistol.
So 7.
3 successes.
Ooh.
That is easily sufficient to hit it at a distance of now 6 feet.
It really slowed it down.
In fact, with 3 successes, you it's not an exceptional success or anything, but you nail it right in the middle, and it seems like you tear a hole in it. It's a suit, right? It's a rubber suit, and you tear a hole in it, and out comes leaking what looks like clear, clean water. Just a gout of it. I mean, you opened a pretty good hole in this thing, and it looks like you turned on the faucet on the side of a building.
Fuck.
Is it having any effect on it other than it leaking liquid?
Well, in the past 1 second, it's not really easy to say, but
Okay.
Who's next? Because it was next, and you made it move 2 more feet, right?
I think it might be me.
Okay.
so yeah, it goes at the same time as you, I think, or maybe you had a +2, so you shot before
Yeah.
it. So it's continuing to approach. It's its turn now, and it's approaching, and it does kind of look like it's starting to sag a little bit, but it's just dragging its feet along the ground and pouring water all over the place. And it's Norland's turn.
Pictures.
I don't have any good skills for this situation. I'm going to use the password
Ooh, check
its
its
Yahoo
email.
account
Read its email.
and read its email.
Why don't you give me a wits plus composure check real quick?
Wits plus composure.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good
I
roll.
got, I got so
shit.
much composure.
All right. You begin to type, and swiftly realize that your dungeon master was probably joking about the email password. But at the same time, you're gazing down at the incandescent screen in front of you, and it illuminates your left wrist, where the tattoo 1337 now reads 666. So scary.
Where is the suit in comparison to the basement steps?
You are standing outside the door that leads to the basement steps, and the suit is now 4 feet away from you, between you and the front of the building. Norland has spent his turn hacking. I can't remember. Was it Albacore or Dewey next?
But I think we rolled the same. So
All right, well, Dewey. We'll start with you since you have a weapon.
I'll shoot the damn thing too.
Yeah, put another hole in it.
All right. Roll dexterity plus firearms plus a +1 for your specialty. Looks like 2 successes. You put another hole right in its chest, and it leaks twice as fast, and it is sagging very rapidly now. It's bent nearly double. Its quote-unquote head is down near its waist. Its feet are still dragging along the floor, but it's deflating very quickly.
And the bolt went right through it.
The bolt went straight through and tore another hole in its chest.
Yeah.
Liuv.
I feel like there's no way this is just a floating rubber suit. So I'd like to investigate it and like use my exceptional intelligence to figure out what the fuck is going on here.
All right. Roll intelligence plus composure plus investigation. No, plus occult with a +1 bonus for your debunking. -2.
You said intelligence, composure, and
Intelligence, composure, and occult with a +1 bonus for debunking. -2.
So 10.
Wow.
2.
2 successes in attempting to suss out what is really going on
What the
here.
fuck is going on? Yeah.
And whether there is just simply some amusement park manager hiding in a costume somewhere. You can't find anything. There are no visible wires above the suit. There are no mechanical sounds in the air. In fact, as you look at this suit, it continues to deflate, and there's nothing in it. It was full of water, and now the water's on the floor. And we're back to Drewby.
So with quick draw, is that only for firearms, or can I now switch over to my bat and club this fucker?
It is actually, since you ask, it's a separate merit you would need to take. Right now, what you've got, and you should note it as a note on the quick draw, what you've got is quick draw for firearms.
Okay.
But you can draw your bat.
But then that'll be my turn.
Yep.
So that sounds terrible. I might shoot it again.
All right. Dexterity
Shoot
plus
its foot.
dexterity plus firearms +2 for the pistol.
All right, so 7 again.
Two successes. All right. So this thing is, unless you've been backing up this whole time, it's now less than 2 feet away, but it's at your knees. It's crumpled. It's actually starting to slow down even more. Nearly empty. It looks, for all the world, like a wet rubber suit at this point, lying on the floor, not being used.
Okay.
But you shoot it.
I am not a smart man.
All right. You really could have used that in the basement.
Allison stops laughing. And it's Norland's turn.
Well, shit.
I'd like to jump on top of the rubber suit.
Okay.
Make sure it can't move.
Roll dexterity plus athletics.
0 plus athletics. 4. That's not awful.
Hey.
Hey, 1 success.
One success. You land on top of it without twisting an ankle.
Yes.
It's like jumping on. It's like you imagine jumping on a water balloon would be. It sends a little splash of water out in every direction, and it smells to high heaven of old, just super moldy industrial. It smells like a super fucking old, super fucking wet rubber suit.
Sure.
But very rotten. But you have subdued it. It is not moving anymore. It is completely empty of water. Norland gains 150 experience points.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm writing it down.
No, that's it. It's done. It's not moving
All
anymore.
right.
The encounter has ended.
Back
You
to
tell me.
Denny's.
Yeah. Is that the vote? Are we leaving the mortuary? Allison is on her way already, by the way.
Like leaving?
She is halfway out the door.
Lucky I propped it open with that chair.
What?
Yeah, I guess I'll head out because I didn't see anything weird with the ants, and there was nothing in the basement anymore. And
You saw the. Oh yeah, you never saw the weird. Yeah, but you just saw a fucking water balloon attack
yeah, but
that
it's
I
dead
shot twice.
Yeah, but that wasn't anything.
She only shot it once.
Everyone who's interested in their perception of current events, give me a wits plus composure roll.
Could you say that again? You cut out a little bit.
Anyone who's interested in attempting to decipher their perceptions of the current events,
Does my unseen sense come into play there?
wits plus composure plus unseen sense if you have it.
Does common sense come into this at all?
No.
How about direction sense?
You can add that.
I got 2 successes already. I don't need
Yeah,
one.
I only got one.
All right. Well, Drew, things are still spooky. Let me look at the numbers here. Liuv, Albacore, you're not convinced, but there was definitely some creepy shit. Sammy, yeah, it's spooky as hell. Dewey, it's well after noon right now. You're not sure what time you feel like it should be, but you went in there at like 10 a.m. and it's been at least a couple hours, so that may register with you however you choose. And Timothy, you are facing north.
Yes.
Sweet. I want some hash browns.
All right, I want to take the pictures with me.
Take the pictures with you. All right. Allison is nowhere to be seen, strangely enough. She's probably back at Denny's.
Well, yeah, I'm good to go. Like I said, I'm going to leave because
All right.
other than not knowing, looking at this dead rubber suit, and I didn't see anything weird with ants, and there was nothing in the basement that I could do anything about. So,
Well, you had an experience. You came here to experience
Well, yes.
things. You had your body cam on the whole time. You can examine the footage later. And you all make your way back towards Denny's. Allison is not visible anywhere around you. You assume she's taking some alternate path, maybe. Shale drives his awesome truck. And when you get back to Denny's, Allison's not there either. She hasn't posted anything on your subreddit. She's
Do we know
Back
what her
to-
car looks like?
yeah, you've seen it before. It's a red Toyota Camry from like 1843.
Is it in the parking lot?
No,
Was it in the parking lot earlier?
you didn't notice.
Ah.
We didn't think to look.
And that's the end. This is a good stopping point.
all right.
We killed a water balloon.
Yay!
Could we have done better? Like, was there some secret that we missed, or would you care not to?
This
Share
was a no. I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. I mean, this was intended to be an introduction to get you used to rolling dice, to start a spooky adventure. You did a lot of the things I expected you to do. And if you want to play again, like next week or sometime in the near future, there will be some interesting revelations about some of the stuff that happened.
That was fun.
Cool.
I should have got the box of alcohol.
we never did look in that box.
You want me to roll back the curtain some more, or are you going to go back
Sure.
and get it next time?
I'm cool with waiting.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to go back and put your hands on some sweet mortuary liquor, then I'll let you do that. But otherwise, I'll just tell you what you would have found.
Okay, what would we have found?
Yeah, you should do that.
It's coffin liquor.
Sounds gross.
So Google that.
Coffin liquor.
Yeah, it's the black.
Oh, Jesus
liquid.
Christ.
Yeah. Don't actually Google coffin liquor.
Dead
I
people
did.
Oh,
juice.
gross.
I made
Yeah.
a terrible.
Oh, Liquefied people.
Terrible thing.
Yeah, it's liquid people. It's
And apparently this mortuary just bottled it.
Yeah,
and
no,
then
so-
put the
so-
bottles in
yeah,
a box
yeah.
and labeled it.
yeah. So sometimes when they get a body and it's a little too far gone for them to do much with, they'll paint it up to look pretty, but they have to catch the leakage somewhere. And at some point, regulations regarding just dumping biological hazard material into the sewer intersected with people just not quite being sure what to do with all this stuff, and they would bottle it. And this place apparently shut down during that period where they weren't sure what to do with the bottles of coffin liquor.
I see.
But probably they
1843 Toyota Camry.
yeah, 1843 Toyota Camry. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's it for the stream tonight. Good night, everyone.
Good night.